weekend for sports. I was excited. Like I was telling you in the chat, I'm like, we might need to do 2 shows this week.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to look into that.
We gotta think about it.
Be sure to stay tuned. Keep that YouTube up. So we might double dip this week.
I'm with it because there's no way we can fit everything in today. There's no way. There's just too much.
Listen,
but tell the people what we got on.
There was never a dull moment from Friday to even now.
Jeez,
dude. Like on Friday we had the last game of the semifinals for the WNBA before the NBA finals played this past Thursday.
Yep.
The Phoenix Mercury got over the Las Vegas Aces.
That hurt my heart.
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi about Liz Cambage.
Yeah. Diana Taurasi with the block.
I know, right? Yo, yeah. First off, before we get into it, Diana Taurasi has the ultimate green light like I've never seen. It's like Russell Westbrook style green light, but it goes in.
Yeah. And not to mention, she's doing all of this on a bad foot.
I can't tell.
On a broken moment.
Maybe that's why her shot always looks unbalanced.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, we're definitely going to be diving into that. We got a big weekend also, and college football as well. And we got Jeff Bowers from the Sports Narrative calling in at 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
A wild weekend in college football. Big E was at a college game day representing his alumni, University of Iowa.
Listen, Big E is on top of the world right now.
Absolutely.
That is my guy.
Iowa, Penn State, battle of the top 5 teams. We got an upset down in Texas. Texas A&M upsetting number 1 Alabama.
Crazy.
The Red River Showdown, the ultimate comeback between Texas and Oklahoma. Ooh, man, not a dull weekend. We're also reviewing Wilder versus Fury 3.
Another crazy fight.
Yeah.
Can't believe that.
Yeah. Shout out to my people. You will remain anonymous for very good reasons for hooking me up with that link so I can watch the fight.
You ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? That fight was free 99.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Yeah. Also, of course, the Eagles, man, they advanced to 2-3. One big win over the Carolina Panthers.
Absolutely. No one saw that coming.
Nah, we're gonna definitely dive into it. And then one of the most random things I'm watching, and the next thing you know, on Twitter, everyone's like, Ben Simmons showed up.
Yeah, Ben Simmons showed up to Philadelphia Monday during the Sixers Nets last preseason game.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but we're definitely going to touch on that.
Absolutely. And, we're also going to be talking the biggest story that's taking over all the headlines right now. John Gruden's firing from the Raiders.
Yeah.
Due to a bunch of emails. I'll leave it at that for now. I'll get more into that.
Crazy.
Yeah. If you want to call to join the discussion, Mark, drop that call number.
Of course, 215-767. Oh, my gosh. 215-763-9596. I always have a brain cramp. You know how that goes in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Just need a little something to get me going,
Mm-hmm.
How was your weekend?
The weekend was good. I did absolutely nothing but watch sports all weekend.
Nothing wrong with that.
I watched college football. I went over to my mom and my sister's place, just to see how they were doing. We watched a few episodes of Squid Games.
Okay. What you think about it so far? I like it.
This show is wild.
Yo, it's crazy. It's great. What episode are you on?
It was the last time before I fell asleep, it was like after the tug of war.
Okay, all right. So you're like in the middle.
Yeah.
You're about in the middle. Squid Games is solid though. Keep watching and pay attention to every detail because there's literally nothing left out.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing left out whatsoever. So pay attention to every detail.
Yeah. So I finished like a lot of binging. I finished on my block. It took me about a week.
How was that? What do you know? Season 4 now?
Yeah, it was the last season.
I think I'm good off that now. I didn't stay with I couldn't continue after season 3.
Yeah. Then I finished watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The season finale was about like a few months ago. So
right.
So
who's in that one?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
That was like Andy Samberg, Terry Crews. Those are like the big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can start with the Eagles. I ain't gonna go into too much depth, but I can definitely start with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely gonna start off with the Eagles.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Eagles this weekend. Oh my gosh. So here's the real question going into this weekend, right? Do you want to end up 1-4 or 2-3? At the end of the day, what sounds better? And going 2-3 sounds so much better than 1-4 because you're in a situation now where it's like, okay, you don't just, as a fan, you don't want to just give up on the season. There's no way, there's no reason to give up on the season now, especially when you're 2-3 instead of 1-4. So thank goodness they actually got it together and pulled off this win. First off, big shouts out to Jonathan Gannon, because I'm not used to seeing coaches actually adjust after they've been torched 2 weeks in a row, giving up 40 points. So honestly, like, without our defense, there's like almost no way we even stay in that game. We had about 3 takeaways. So Jonathan Gannon put together an amazing plan to make sure that the Eagles stayed on top of it, because the first 3 quarters, the offense looked stale. And I just remember, I feel like it's 2 weeks in a row. I'm literally asking myself, we are going through the same thing. Is Doug Peterson back? Is Carson Wentz back? Everything is the same. The offense looks stale. I was happy to see Miles Sanders the first drive, but as the game went on, Miles Sanders, I'd say his IQ in the fourth quarter definitely left some question marks, and kind of maybe answered some questions as to maybe why his playing time is so limited, because that was such a bonehead play at the end of the game when you're in an opportunity to run out the clock and you run out of bounds twice. And then after you run out of bounds twice, of course, Kenneth Gainwell comes in, does what he's supposed to do, stays in bounds. So just seeing that segment right there kind of told me parts of the reasons why, like, maybe this is the reason why Miles Sanders isn't on the field as often as he should be, and his IQ could be a huge question. So that's one of the things about it. And we have Carmen Holland here in the building. What's going on, Carmen? What's up with you?
You know, just out here
Living the life,
tired. You know,
roaming the streets.
Just started another job.
Oversleeping.
So I
getting that mugger.
I'm just not used to the schedule, and my body is just reacting right now. I'm like a zombie right now. To be honest, I'm a zombie.
You gotta go to Wawa, get the mint mocha frap with an extra shot of espresso and flavor. I promise you.
The thing about it is, I just don't drink coffee.
It's not really. I'm not a coffee drinker either, but that tastes amazing. Do you like the Thin Mints Girl Scout cookies?
Not really.
Oh, never mind.
See,
I was gonna say, because that's exactly
it's just
what
like
it tastes like. It's an amazing treat.
But I'm all right.
That's a good off-topic question. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Oh, for sure. That can be the topic today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired. Not gonna lie.
I feel you.
It's real out here. But you know, I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
You're the hardest working woman in the business, so I get it.
You know, just trying to be about sports, but then, you know, got to pay the bills. And so the sports pays the bills.
Isn't America great?
You know,
we
prime
pay
time.
money to live on this rock
Right.
that just floats. Isn't it
Yep.
great?
Yep.
And then die.
We're paying bills for stuff that we're never gonna own. We're basically paying to live.
I know. Isn't that great? I love
Yeah.
it here. It's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. The land of the free, the home of the brave.
I know you're being facetious, but I'll do it. I hate it here.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it because it could be worse, but I mean, it's still pretty bad here. But yeah,
I'll say it could be worse, but it could be better.
I agree. I highly agree. Like, we could start with, like, I don't know, 4-day work weeks.
That would really just alleviate some of the mental strain of
Right.
working, would be just to have a longer weekend. That'd be
That'd be
way
great.
better. Like, I'd rather have a longer work day in a 4-day week than have all 4 days.
I agree. I would gladly do 4 days, 10-hour shifts.
I mean, sorry, off 3 days
Yeah.
and then work longer days for the 4 days. I'd rather do that
Yeah.
than just have a 5-day week and then just 2 days off. And you already know that Friday is like
A
not
waste.
even a day.
Right. It's
Right.
not. It's not. It's Friday gives you that hope. It's like something to really look forward to. But at our big old age, once Friday hits, it's like it's a 50-50. Like 50-50, like, hey, I might kick it, and you know what? I might just stay in the crib. But Saturday, you might see me Saturday for sure.
This is Friday night, and
Nah.
I just got paid.
And paid my bills. Like, it's not exciting for Fridays anymore.
Yeah, you know
Like
the
it used to
vibes.
be.
You know the vibes. But yeah, I've been working all weekend and yeah.
Oh,
All
great.
right.
Oh, great. Now this one stuck in my head.
Well,
No. I did it to myself. Just got paid by
NSYNC.
NSYNC. Yeah, it's stuck in my head.
I thought you were trying to do the original.
Nah.
It's all good though. Showing your youth. Yeah. But let's dive in a little bit more about these Eagles. I mean, it was a great game.
Absolutely. Eagles won 21-18. I got a few notes.
What?
What?
Notes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, it's shouldn't. I'm not saying, like, well, what's wrong with me taking notes?
What are your
It's
notes,
just
Chris?
rare.
What are your notes?
That's all.
What are your notes, Chris?
Okay. All right. First note: Jalen played poor, but in the end, in the fourth quarter, when they needed him to step up, and when he finally got the opportunity of not really going into that RPO style offense, when he actually started incorporating
Like normal
his
football.
ability to actually run the football, the offense ran a lot better. And, Jalen Hurts got, 2 rushing touchdowns. But listen, overall, like, just the offense was just completely abysmal for like the first like 3 quarters.
So who do you put that on?
It's obviously on Skriniani.
Okay. Thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
his new
what they're
nick.
calling him
Yeah,
now,
that's what they call him now.
Skriniani?
Yeah.
Skriniani.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Just
Skriniani.
Every
just-
play.
Yeah, just the bubble screens, the slip screens. I'm like, listen, nobody's blocking down the field. So there's no
Yeah.
I saw him. He like at one point, I think Jalen Hurts had like 11 to 15 for like 38 yards. I'm like,
How?
None of this makes any sense.
How? How Sway?
Yeah, but listen, everybody has their reservations with Jalen Hurts. I still do, but in the end, when you needed him to step up, he was able to step up. I think a lot of what Jalen Hurts is capable of doing, pretty much like what his ceiling could be, to me, is limited by his play calling.
I agree.
So
It's frustrating to watch because it's just like we recognize the talent that he has. I'm not saying that he's any of these guys, but he's able to do it.
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, just to name a few. Russell Wilson. Jalen Hurts can do everything that they do. I'm not saying he has the arm that Russell Wilson has. I'm not saying he has the speed that Lamar Jackson has. I'm not saying he has the elusiveness
or
as Kyler Murray.
or the way the process defense. No, we're just saying like just
He can do those things.
Yeah.
So it's like
he's
use him to the
capable.
strengths.
Yeah, he's capable.
Right. Use him to the
Yeah.
strengths.
Yeah, like I said before the season, I think Miles Sanders is getting phased out.
Yes, you called it right on the money. It's still confusing a bit to me because like I think you give Andy Reid Miles Sanders is a Pro Bowler, and that's scary.
I don't know. We're seeing what's happening with Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now.
I mean, he's injured now.
Yeah, well, even before that, I mean, he outside of really that one game, he doesn't really run the Chiefs really don't run the football that much. We'll get into the Chiefs later.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say they have been. I mean, and we're not above the Chiefs, so we need to run the ball because they've been running the ball.
yeah, but listen, it showed like over the past 20 years, Philadelphia operates better when they run the football. That even goes back to Andy Reid. Back when they had the 3-headed monster with Deuce Staley, Brian Westbrook, and Corral Buckhalter.
Yep.
Back with Chip Kelly when he had LaShawn McCoy.
Mhm.
Even Doug Peterson, they were third in rushing the year they won the Super Bowl with LeGarrette Blount.
Yep.
So the fact that we are not running the football as much as we need to, this week might be an excuse because we're going against Tampa Bay, who's absolutely number one against the run. So it might give Skriniani that excuse to, just air it out.
Yeah.
But in the end, you still got to incorporate running the football, even when it doesn't work.
It also renders the RPO obsolete. Like why are we doing this every single time when we know we're not going to run?
Yeah.
Like it makes no sense. I'd rather instead of being like tricky about it, I'd rather you just line up in like a traditional I form. You get a lead blocker and run because you're not fooling anybody in the RPO at all. And then a guy like Miles Sanders, he doesn't run between the tackles at all. He's an East and West guy. He'd be running 10 yards and just run out of bounds. And it's like, bruh, come on, yo.
Yeah, I don't get it either. But another note, Quez Watkins, he definitely needs to get more plays on the field than what Jalen Reagor is.
Oh, agree.
Yeah, Quez Watkins, he's getting about 20 yards a clip when it comes to getting the ball. Jalen Reagor's only getting about 8.
Yep.
And listen, I've had high hopes for Jalen Reagor. I mean, in the end, like talent will shine, even when it doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Yeah.
We see Devontae Smith constantly get open because of his route running.
Yep.
Even in the limited snaps that we're seeing with Quez Watkins, he's getting open, like way down the field. There was an instance in which I forget what quarter was it. Quez was wide open.
Yeah.
He literally could
I
have
think
caught
it was
the
like
ball.
going into halftime.
Yeah. So like he literally could have caught the ball and just walked into the end zone.
Yeah, wide open.
And Jalen missed it.
Missed that one, yep.
Yeah. But at the end, it's like I don't get why Jalen Reagor's even on the field at this point. We basically used a first round pick for a punt returner.
Essentially, I mean, it's almost, I hate to say it, and I guess it's part of the reason why I always confuse these two. It feels like we just got Nelson Aguilar 2.0.
Yeah.
I've always felt this way, and it's kind of unfortunate. I do see some things, especially with the speed and being able to be elusive, but it's just like you got to catch the ball first to actually do those things. And it's literally the same issues that we had with Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar was not a bad wide receiver at all. It's just he didn't get the ball, and then he was, not completely, mentally strong. Now it's a situation where we're going through the same exact thing again. When Nelson Aguilar actually caught the ball, he was electrifying. He was good, but he just didn't do it a lot. And that's just how I kind of feel a bit with Reagor. Like when he actually catches the ball and have an opportunity, that's cool. Now, a couple of things that bothered me as well was in the beginning of the game, literally the first kickoff deep in the end zone, he comes out and gets nowhere. It's like, bro, we had a guaranteed 20 yards. You just kneel, right? Then he comes out, drops the first pass. I'm like, okay, he's done for the game already. Like Jalen Reagor, he's already shot. And that's kind of like how it was. I mean, he had his opportunity to kick off the game, and it just kind of continued to be what it's been these first 5 games.
Yeah. So pretty much at this point, it's like if all the dominoes align, you're gonna have 3 first-round picks. And honestly, much as it pains me to say this, I think you got to use one of those for at least one of these wide receivers just coming out. I know, I hate it too, but
Reagor, we just let go of Fulgham, and he just signed to Miami's practice squad. Like, come on.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry. Listen, if Reagor continues to play like this, I'm like, listen, outside of really Devontae Smith, who is really that dependable and if Jalen Hurts continues to instill confidence in the organization that he can be the guy, who is he really throwing to outside of Devontae Smith?
I get that. I mean, it's we got to give some guys opportunities. Like, okay, I love Greg Ward, what he's been doing, but I'm good.
Yeah, no,
I'm good. Like, I appreciate
Greg Ward's
your
done
service.
Greg Ward's done after this year.
Yeah, like I appreciate your service. You've been
Greg
absolutely
Ward's done after this year. Arcega Whiteside's done for this year.
Yeah.
John Hightower's already gone. So at this point, it's like you have to get a wide receiver in the first round this year.
Hey, look,
it's a good draft this coming here.
Crowd.
Nah, I have eyes, yo. I have eyes, and
it's just the way Mark says stuff. It's just funny.
Yeah,
the way Mark just like, yeah, man, we really appreciate your service. Man.
Yeah, like I
thanks
appreciate
for everything. Well, you gotta
bro.
go.
Yeah,
thanks for nothing.
Right.
Goodbye.
You gotta hit the bricks, my guy.
Yeah.
Hit the bricks.
Yeah.
Mark Thompson said.
We'll talk.
First.
Yeah, and we'll talk more a little bit more about this upcoming 2022 draft class when Jeff calls in at 6. But yeah, Quez Watkins definitely needs to definitely start getting some legitimate wide receiver reps and targets over Reagor. Another thing that I peeped that no one's really talking about, I don't think Lane Johnson's coming back this year because of personal issues. Like I've been reading about it. They said they don't know when Lane Johnson's coming back. And everybody had a little bit of issues with, Malaya already getting paid and having to move the right tackle because you're cross-training. He could play either side.
Right. Well, he was getting smoked, though.
Huh?
He was getting smoked a few plays. It was not looking good.
Yeah, but who's actually been pretty good over these past few weeks and no one really wants to talk about? Andre Dillard.
No.
He's been good, man. He was the highest
penalty boy.
He was actually, I think last week he was the highest rated offensive lineman graded last week.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
We'll keep an eye on it. I mean, hey, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Me personally, I continue to take it game by game. As I open up the show, it's much better to be 2-3 than 1-4 because coming in today at 1-4 with I still do this with the Bucks on Thursday. Oh God, this would be a terrible day. And don't forget, we didn't even get started talking on Ben yet, but him just magically popping up.
Yeah,
it'd be a really weird, sad day.
Yeah, and once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJ1. You're running back sports show, sports for the culture. You want to call to join the discussion? Drop the phone number
215-763-9596.
Listen, and listen, if Dillard does work out, that's your left tackle, and that's your right tackle, going forward.
And that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
With Dillard. I mean, you don't just take an offensive lineman in the first round and it turns into nothing. There's got to be something there, and it can't be with every guy that we get. It has to be something mental. Like I'm starting to get a little bugged out.
I don't think it was mental when it comes to Dillard. I think he got a bad rep because he had to play right tackle that one game, and I think no one.
And he got ripped up.
Yeah, because left tackle and right tackle are two different assignments.
Everything is different.
Yeah, and the fact that he was getting manhandled in practice. Listen, people play better in games as opposed to people are practice warriors but can't put it together.
Right.
Like you can study well for a test, but if you're not a good test taker, it doesn't matter how hard you study.
Right. I believe I think it was Trey Thomas who said this. He said going from your position on offensive line and switching to the exact opposite. It's like being right-handed and then using your left hand for everything.
Exactly.
Like you can't
Yeah,
you
that's how
can't
my parents
down
were.
a person that much for that.
Yeah, I'm left-handed. Like, and my parents were confused the fact that no, you're right. No, I was right. They try to keep putting stuff on my right hand. I'm like, it feels weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
But listen, but like when he's in the game, when he's actually playing games as opposed to practicing, he's actually decent. So that's something you can build upon, and you're kind of seeing it now. I mean, outside of like Kelsey, because I still feel like they need to get a replacement for him, unless you're moving Lander Dickerson to center next year if Kelsey retires. But you still got some youth right now, like because I don't expect. Because I think next year you have to fully move on from Jason Kelsey. You got to fully move on for Brandon Brooks because at this point,
They can't stay healthy.
yeah, he can't stay healthy, and the price tag that you guys are keeping him on.
I mean, outside of Jason Kelsey, but
yeah, well, yeah, you're not reliable, especially at your price tag. But the biggest nugget is the fact that the defense was miles better. Was significantly better than it was like the last 2 weeks. Jonathan Gannon got his chewed up, reportedly by Sirianni, giving up back-to-back 40-point games. Looks like someone needs to yell at Sirianni about, this offensive game plans over this last month or so. But the defense was good. They got to the quarterback. You saw the pass rush. They finally got some turnovers. Big play today after getting called out by everybody on Twitter. People calling him Nani Asawa and Byron Maxwell, which was, goofy to begin with.
that was dumbest thing I heard.
Yeah, he came
even your father coming on saying that.
Yeah.
Don't have his music queued up if he calls today, because I just can't get over that. Because and then Slay comes on and has an amazing performance after just having a baby too.
Yeah, 2 interceptions and lockdown DJ Moore, and then you got Steven Nelson with the game-winning interception. I'm like, I can't remember the last time this Eagles defense closed the game out like this.
Yeah, that was a good play. I really thought the Eagles were going to lose. So when I turned it on late, and then when I started watching it later on, I was like, I was like really frustrated. I was like, oh my God. Like I kept seeing them turning the ball over on downs. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then to be honest, keep it to me, I changed the channel. I was annoyed and I was tired because I've been working. So I was like, I don't have the energy to be annoyed by the Eagles losing. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to flick the channel. Because I think the WNBA, the first game of the finals was on.
Yeah, it came on at 3.
Yeah, so I started watching that because that's more interesting to me than the Eagles at this point. And started watching that. And that was a really good game. And then I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, until at the end of this first half.
Yeah, but I'll talk about that later. And then so then I flipped it back when they went on halftime, and then I was like, look at us, how did we catch up? I was like, wow. And then I seen like the last couple of plays, and then I seen Nelson. I was like, look at you, Steven Nelson, earning good on your money.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised that the game, like it's true, like how the game ended, I was like, wow, this is like a put together ending right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, poised. But then that Miles Sanders thing, when he kept staying in and how frustrated his face when like they pulled him out, he was like so mad that I was just looking at him like, you look dumb because you weren't doing what you're supposed to do. Like, why are you staying inbound? I mean, why are you going out of bounds? Mm-hmm. So I was just like, he looks so mad. I'm like, what are you mad about? I love you, you're Penn Stater, but you messing up because we're this close to winning. And it's like, we can't have any trial, any error. It's the Eagles. Like, we can't play this game. This ain't McNabb. Like, come on. You got to have it together.
I feel like what happened was he wasn't really engaged. Like, you don't do things like that when you're engaged. He wasn't aware of the circumstances and what was happening in the middle of the game. And that's probably because
you don't think no one told him?
No, I mean, that's got to be common sense. But also, like, as a running back, like, when you play that position, it's like you got to, like, kind of warm up and, like, feel the game. And since he's not a major part of the game plan, he's just thinking like, let me stretch for this first down. I'm going to get out of bounds. I'm going to do this. But it's like, bruh, it's like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and we're up. We're trying to kill time. So I feel like a part of that is because mentally he's not a part of the game plan. So that's why I think he had those mental lapses where it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Go down, stay in bounds. So that's a part of it too. Like I'm not going to, put it 100% all on him, but you got to have your guys engaged. And if you're in a situation as a running back or any position and you feel like you can help this team and you want to go out there and fight for your guys, then be vocal about it. Let the coach know, like, yo, I want to be out there. I want to help my guys. Like, I can't. I just feel like he's just not there.
Yeah, he looked frustrated, but I don't know. I mean, thankfully it was okay, and we ended up winning the game. But yeah, that could have been bad. Like if we would have turned the ball back to them, and then like like do the 2-minute drill, whatever, boom, that'd have been. He would have really not got no touches. Like
For
you done.
sure.
Nah, he was a down. He was a down.
Yeah.
Gainwell, come on, get some gains. Gainwell, come get some gains. Come give us some yardage.
Right. No pun intended.
So yeah, I mean, I'm happy the Eagles won. I think we definitely needed that win, especially going in with Thursday night football. So they kind of have a quick turnaround. Yeah, it's home, but it's against the GOAT. So
Not my goat.
I mean,
He is the GOAT.
He is a goat.
Before we
he's
move on,
Christopher, stop it. Stop the slander.
before we move on, definitely we got to give shouts out to TJ Edwards because that punt block was absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie, the range of emotions that I went through during that game was so stressful. I went from jubilant to just sad, depressed, about to end it all, to like,
Jubilant. Is that your word for today?
I don't know, did I use it before?
Jubilant.
No.
Nah.
He
all right.
went from jubilant
I don't know. My
to depressed.
lately my brain has been unlocked for some odd reason. I've been reading more and I feel smarter just because I've been exercising my brain. So I guess that's where
I'm about to say you got that app like Stephen A says. Like, okay, well, this is my word of the day. I'm gonna try to use this.
No, that is a good skill though. My mom was teaching me that since I was a kid. I did used to do that. But I just I've been reading again. My brain is like unlocked, bringing back words and stuff that I haven't used in quite some time. So
Okay, what have you been reading?
It's actually this book titled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F you, you know what I'm saying? So I've been reading it on and off for quite some time, and it's a good book. I try to read about a chapter a morning, before I get my day started, so I can get, motivated and ready, and it's a good brain exercise. So
Okay.
yeah, so excuse me if I pulled out a little, little vocab word. I got some of those in my repertoire, but
Yo.
Oh my god.
Just stop.
in my arsenal.
Yo, why did you say it like that? Repertoire.
Repertoire.
Yeah.
In your war chest.
You know what I'm saying? I got them in my bag.
Y'all got in my bag,
know what I
dog.
mean?
That's it. Say it like that,
Got
Mark.
some SAT
keep
words
it a
in my
keep
bag.
it a bean. Keep it a buck. Just say I got it in my bag. My repertoire.
You feel me? But nah, like as I mentioned earlier, though, like the emotions were crazy. It's just like
Okay,
all
so
right.
jubilant, depressed. What was the next one?
Reluctant.
Reluctant. Okay. What was
as the score and the balance of momentum continue to fluctuate. It's like, no, let me stop.
Okay.
Yes, but I digress.
I don't know who's listening to this show and who you showing off for.
I'm not showing off. I told you I've been
Mark's
reading.
being him, man.
I've been,
Let Mark
I've
be
been,
him.
I've been reading again, bruh.
he's
Exercising the
elevating.
brain.
Elevating.
I'm smart in real life.
Elevating.
I'm smart AF.
He's
You know what I'm
elevating his
I can
brain.
speak very
Christopher.
eloquently. Like I just don't. Yeah, I'll keep going if you want me to with the words. I can keep going.
Do you, boo?
Yeah. But no, seriously though, like another big takeaway, like I said, Jonathan Gannon being able to hold Carolina to 16 points and averaging 3.8 yards per play. That was solid to me. Okay, granted, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. We're an NFL team. I know Christian McCaffrey didn't play. And honestly, that was Sam Darnold's first like bad game because he was lighting it up for Carolina the first 4 weeks. So I don't want to hear nothing like, oh, like, okay, I get it. That was the Sam Darnold from the Jets that game, but like, let's not downplay what he has been doing this season. And also shout out to Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox actually made an appearance on the stat sheet.
His first sack. His first sack, right?
Yeah, he went 301 days since his last sack.
I felt happy for him. I felt like he was hyped.
He needed that. And
was
then,
hyped up.
but shout out to Jonathan Gannon with the schemes. It wasn't just the same thing that we were seeing the weeks prior. So shout out to him. I don't know if it was like, Nick Sirianni getting in his tail that really helped Jonathan Gannon come through and make like a great game plan, but he need to get in his own tail because that offense is, oh God, is stale. And I think I'm 100% good on Devontae Smith now. Like I'm good. I think I've seen enough to this point where I'm like, all right, he's a true number one. The past 2 weeks he's at 7 receptions. He's quality. He's a quality dude. And one thing that was brought to my attention is that we've had five passing touchdowns, might I add, called back. Think about that. If you add 5 touchdowns to Jalen Hurts' total, I mean, that possibly changes the outcome of games. That possibly changes his ranking. And for all we know, we could be talking Jalen Hurts a possible MVP candidate. How that make y'all feel? We're talking 5 touchdowns. That's 35 points taken off the board.
What's his ratio right now?
I don't know. I don't have it up in front of me right now. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
is that 35 points?
That's 35 points.
6 times.
Well, 7 times.
That's 30.
6 times
That's 30
5.
points pending extra point. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. I was gonna say, like, I'm a math whiz too. Don't try and question me on the math. I know my Y equals
7.
MX plus B's.
yeah, 1,365 yards, 7 touchdowns, 93.3 quarterback rating at 5 touchdowns. That's about 12 touchdowns. That's 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Mahomes has like 15 on the season, so
Yeah.
it's a completely different conversation and possibly a completely different record.
But it's just one thing because I just think people don't see Jalen in that light because they just have their doubts. And then the things that he doesn't do well or the product of the bad play calling, he gets the brunt of it and he gets just, pigeonholed as you suck, Jalen, you're not that good or, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So,
I see that every week.
yeah.
And
So-
listen. That's the thing. When you're a Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, or you're just Philadelphia star player in Philadelphia, everything you do is under a microscope, no matter how good or how bad it is. But the thing is that I'll say this: everybody keeps talking about, well, Jalen Hurts only has such and such more starts over Zach Wilson, but Zach Wilson doesn't get this much amount of criticism. Neither does Trevor Lawrence. Here's the thing, and this is not a slight on Jalen Hurts at all. Here's a major difference between these guys, these quarterbacks that were taken in the first round compared to Jalen Hurts. When Trevor Lawrence was drafted number 1 overall to Jacksonville, the idea, the perception, and everything about the organization, they are all in on Trevor Lawrence being their franchise quarterback. Granted, to me, Urban Meyer doesn't need to be there because I feel like he's more of a detriment to Trevor Lawrence's development as opposed to a significant help.
Especially since he out here getting twerks. Yo, it's so crazy how Urban Meyer was on the hot seat last week. Now he's good. He's good. John Gruden just like, hold my beer. Like legit. Like, oh my gosh.
So what happened with that? He was getting twerks? What do you mean? Like he was where
my
was
man was getting wallies. He was
Where?
he was at the function getting tail dropped on him.
Wait,
having
he
a
was-
good
he was
old
at a- He was
time.
at a party and a girl was dancing.
He was
on
at a bar.
Yeah, he was having a good old time.
In
Just
Al-
doing what men do.
Where in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some girl was dancing on him,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
legit, like dancing on him.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
What you
Nothing.
thought he was doing?
Nothing.
Oh, you know something.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I don't get, but this
Was
is.
the girl younger? Was she like
Yeah.
young?
I don't think any of that matters. My man can't go out for a dance.
It does matter.
Why does it matter? Because
It does.
because Jacksonville sucks, so he can't go out and have a dance.
No, it's because he's a married man. He
Yeah, I'm
don't
about
be
to say, like,
dancing and
'cause
grinding
he's
up
married.
on no young
Oh, I didn't know.
girls.
My bad. I didn't know he was married.
Yeah, he's
Okay, I'm
married.
Oh, yeah.
His poor wife. I'm sure she's stuck by him and supported him his
yeah,
whole entire
yeah, but
career.
then his wife made a statement on Twitter. I'm just like, sweetie,
She's a human.
I'm like, sweetie, you didn't need to do this.
Somebody got to save him. He had a
Of
rough
course.
week.
Here's the thing:
No.
he want to do dirt and embarrass his wife, but then what happens at the end of it all? The wife comes in and still tries to save the man's face. But it's just like, no. I've been like, you want to make your bed, lie in it.
It's funny because I don't know if you guys noticed today. I just wanted to bring this up real quick. It's a little off topic. Today, there's been a lot of women who all of a sudden see red flags. I don't know if you guys have been noticing this, but there's been like a lot of like sayings where it's like,
That is a red flag.
it's a red
thing.
flag. So it's like, oh, now y'all recognize red flags. But
No, listen,
I
people.
was just going to say, using that example.
Girls recognize the red flags, just ignore them.
I know.
The red flag. Every girl knows where, when, how, and the second they see the red flags.
Mhm.
Nobody just oversees red flags. You
Mhm.
just choose, depending on who the guy is, to allow the red flag to happen. You
This
just
is
kind of
true.
push it to the side, like, oh, that was just a misstep.
Right, but this is bad.
But once you start to really get fed up, then the red flags are like mounted. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a red flag.
Or if you just don't like that person.
Or you don't like them. If you
That's
don't like
true.
someone that much, the red flags is
They
in your
stick out like a
face.
thorn.
Right, and they like that's the
They don't
determining
waste your time.
factor.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, back to my point.
Mm-hmm.
So they,
Oh, you're the sweetie. Go ahead, sweetie. You didn't have to do this.
no, not that. But
Oh,
the difference is that when Trevor Lawrence was drafted, he was like, okay, for the next decade or so,
He's the guy.
Yeah, he's your guy. We're gonna invest everything we can to make sure that we get the best return investment for you. It's the same thing with Zach Wilson, even though the Jets are a mess. It's the same thing when it comes to Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. That's the major difference between him and Jalen Hurts. When Jalen Hurts was drafted, okay, what was your reaction when Jalen Hurts got drafted?
I like Jalen, but we don't need him.
Exactly.
That's literally what I said.
Yeah. I was like, wait, why did we draft a quarterback in the second round? We literally just paid Carson Wentz.
Right.
We just got out of the playoffs.
Right.
We needed some offensive line help, maybe another running back
I don't know, a wide receiver.
or a linebacker.
Right.
Like you don't draft a second round quarterback like Jalen Hurts as an insurance policy. But when he was drafted, Jalen Hurts was drafted as an insurance policy for this quarterback factory. That's why he's not looked on as a franchise quarterback, because when he was drafted, he literally was just drafted as an insurance policy for
Mhm.
Carson Wentz. But when Carson Wentz unfortunately had that 2020 season, like Jalen literally, like I don't want to, like, it's going to sound messed up, he failed upwards. So like there wasn't a scenario in which Jalen Hurts was supposed to be the franchise quarterback, just as an insurance policy. But now that Carson Wentz is on the outs, and then he's in Indianapolis, he's now looked at as the franchise quarterback, a position he never thought he would have been in, and nobody else thought of when he came in Philadelphia.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, that's why people are a little more skeptical, like calling Jalen Hurts, the future of the franchise, because that's never was the case for him.
Mhm. It was always supposed to be maybe like what's the word? Like a revolving door.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like that's why the Deshaun Watson rumors came up right away, because Philadelphia, as Chris alluded to, never said that, hey, Jalen Hurts is truly our guy. It literally took the final Sunday after the preseason week 4 for the Eagles to finally come out and officially say, after signing Gardner Minshew, that this is our guy.
Exactly.
oh yeah. So he's gonna get the criticism.
Yeah. So like,
Just sucks, though.
no,
Sucks
but,
for him.
Yeah, but listen, overall,
But it's a comfortable position for him, apparently.
Yeah,
and he shows nothing but poise.
Yeah, the guy's a fighter. He doesn't let much rattle him. He's spearheading actually.
Yeah.
Like scholarships money for HBCUs now.
Yeah.
I read that earlier. I'm like, listen, everything about this kid off the field,
he's a great guy.
I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing but support him.
That's all you can do. And call me crazy, but we have Carson Wentz that game. We lose that game. We lose that game.
Okay, but then again,
because even watching like the end of the Colts Ravens game, it was everything I always saw. Carson just trying to play hero ball. Like always. I mean, I get it. I mean, there's no way to do it, but it's just like you got so many weapons. Y'all have a crazy run game. You got mad receivers. The amount of time that I saw him having in the back was just like, yo, bro, like it's nothing's changed.
Okay, here's the thing. I won't put that loss on Wentz.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying they were up 25-9.
No, that win is solely on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Nothing against Carson Wentz. It's just some things that I saw
and the Colts
that were the same.
And the Colts literally only had 3 cornerbacks left.
Yes. So, I mean, I get it. Hollywood Brown, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
snapped.
Yeah, Mark Andrews. And like the Colts had a chance.
Caught everything.
Yeah, and the Colts had a chance to win that game before overtime. Yeah. But, the Colts kicker missed. And then as soon as I saw Lamar, I was like, yeah, we won the toss. Ravens select receiver. I'm like, game's over.
Listen, first off, number one, Darius Slay tweeted what I said in my head. He said, ain't no way you missed the field goal with them glasses on, with them goggles. How do you do that? And I'm like, yo, bro, I've never seen a player with the James Worthy's, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's underneath his helmet. I've never seen that in the NFL. And I'm like, oh, my man's good. Like, his vision is stellar. He's knocking this down. And he missed. Yeah, he missed. Last thing, I don't know. Since we're talking kickers, I had a little notes, which is wild. I never talk about kickers, but shout out to Jake Elliott. He had a 58-yarder, and he's been 5 for 6 this season. He's been money,
Yeah.
except for that one that was blocked. But
Yeah.
other than that, he's been great.
Yeah, made all those PATs as well, man. Listen, after a bad 2020, he's coming around, man.
Right here, and here's another thing that's wild to me. It's so crazy, right? That it can be 4th and goal. You kick a field goal for 5 yards and it's 3 points, but you kick a 58-yarder and it's the same amount. I'm sorry. I feel like the further you go back, you need to add on some points. So if it's like, I don't know, from the goal to like, I don't know, the 30th, 3 points. The 30th to like the 50.
I don't know. That's a slippery slope because are you going to start rewarding, more for touchdowns like the further, it goes? Like if you get like a 70-yard touchdown, they're going to put more points on the board?
No, because a touchdown's still a touchdown. But I mean,
Yeah, field goal's still a field goal.
I don't know. I mean, the level of difficulty from being from the 5 versus 58 yards out, and you still get 3?
Who made that like 68-yarder?
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, from the Ravens.
Yeah,
right?
66 yards.
66 yards. Okay,
crazy.
that should be like 6 points.
I mean, they only need 3 to win, so
That should be 6 points. I don't
Yeah,
care.
honestly, I wasn't surprised because I've thought the same thing that you about the Colt thing about the Carson.
Yeah.
When I was watching them, I saw that they were up so much. I was like, oh wow! Like I saw what's the guy? I forget the guy's name that made I forget.
Michael Pittman Jr. He mossed the ball.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, oh wow, okay, Carson. He looked decent at that moment when I had it on, and then
No,
I
he
turned
was
it
solid
back,
all game.
and I was like, oh, I was like, huh. I was like, cool. Another Carson Wentz. But actually, like you said, it wasn't really Carson Wentz. It was Lamar Jackson being just better and just
Yeah.
willing the team. Because he's the thing. That's the thing about in sports. It's just like what happened in the WNBA. It's like you can have all the weapons and have everything stacked with you, but sometimes it just takes like that one player that's the standout that pushes their team forward, and that's just what it is. Because sometimes that's just how that goes.
Yeah. One news alert. It says from Bleacher Report, it says the 76ers are not interested in Kyrie after what's been going on, even though there has been rumors with Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving for a potential trade.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJ1, Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call us running discussion, Mark, drop that call number.
Of course, 215-763-9596. We got about almost 15 minutes till Jeff calls in. Let's talk a little bit about John Gruden and move on to the week 5 to close out the rest of the NFL for now.
Let's do Weird 5 close out, then get into John Gruden.
Let's do it. One of the games that was like crazy that stood out to me, definitely the Bills spanking the Chiefs 38-20. The Bills, they're on a 4-game win streak right now. They're 4-1. They look absolutely great. During their win streak, they're averaging 39 points per game. Like, what the heck is going on?
Clapping cheeks.
Yo, they doing more than
my God, Chris.
They doing more than
What?
clapping cheeks down
So
there.
vulgar.
Well, I did say spank.
Like clapping cheeks. Like that's just
I
so,
mean,
so
what happens when you spank
so
someone?
so crude.
The cheeks get clapped.
Oh no, that's
When you
that's,
spank someone,
they might jiggle, not clap.
it depends on the direction.
Oh, God, that's
you know?
even more dirty.
Right, because y'all are being dirty.
Let's say these pair of cheeks are, stood right in front of you. Depending on the angle you spank them, depends on if the cheeks get clapped.
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm saying? If you do like one of these up joints, okay, you cheeks might not get clapped. Now, if you coming from this side, bang, them joints might clap.
Bumping meat.
You catch my drift?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it. That was valid. Those cheeks definitely was getting
Y'all are
clapped.
the worst. Yo, Mark, Mark is too much today. Mark is too much
There is
today.
there is nothing wrong with what I said.
None. Clapping cheeks. Freeman would be proud. That's all I can
Yeah,
say.
he would.
He'd be very proud.
We had a good time at the preseason game last night.
I'm sure. I'm sure you guys had a blast. But yo, what's up with the Chiefs? What's up?
Yo, you seen Josh Allen hurdle over somebody?
Josh Allen is amazing. I love Josh Allen.
Look at him. He looks so
He's
cute
goat.
out there.
He's goat.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
goat status.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Oh no, it's a simple answer. The formula that they've that they have gone by over the years with Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill, it's caught up with them.
Mm.
Their defense. You know what? I actually looked it up. They spend money. Their salary cap wise, more money is invested in their defense more than their offense
How?
by $20 million. I don't get how
Who
either.
they paying?
Uh,
Can I apply? Because they don't play no defense.
Exactly. They don't listen. They don't play no their defense is not that good. They don't have any playmakers.
Yeah.
Chris Jones is out, but that's only one person. You can't really count on one person to carry an entire defense.
I'm trying to apply.
They have no run. Their run game is not consistent. The run game is not to mention, listen, it's just the fact that everybody else in the AFC has just gotten better.
Mhm.
We saw it. Lamar Jackson got that monkey off his back beating Kansas City. The
Yep.
Bills, they got embarrassed last year in the AFC Championship game by the Chiefs. They've gotten better as well. And even in their division in the AFC West, the Chargers have gotten better.
Everybody's headhunting the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, exactly. The Chiefs has been dominating. They've been beating people up, beating up on little brothers. All these for like the past 3 years. It's
Yeah.
catching up to them.
It's
now.
starting to feel like when Golden State was spanking everybody
Mhm.
for years, and then it's like every chance you get now, you got to blow Golden State out. People are still scarred from that. The wildest thing to me, though, that since the Super Bowl, the Chiefs have given up pretty much 34 points per game in their
Mhm.
losses.
Mhm.
Like, what? So you mean to tell me not only are the Chiefs getting spanked, but they're getting blown out? And that's one of the things that always kept the Chiefs in the game was the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes and
Yeah.
Andy Reid. Now,
Yeah,
like, if
you
you're giving up 34 points,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you still have that healthy fear of Patrick Mahomes, but in
Mhm.
the end, you're seeing it now. Patrick Mahomes is just not enough, especially when you have a defense like that.
yeah, I don't know what's up.
It's not
with
an-
that.
And not to mention, if you can't run the football as well, like there's only so much that they're top heavy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they've been improved with the run, but it's just their defense can't stop anybody.
yeah,
The fact that, Josh Allen just, oh God.
yeah,
And I know you were sick with you were saying Stephon Diggs ain't get no burn like that.
yeah.
Uh
In the end, Emmanuel Sanders getting the ball. Dawson Knox is, definitely, surfacing now. They have a really good two-headed punch now with Zach Moss and Devil Singletary. And but yeah, that's also part of one of my notes as well. The Bills are looking like the best team in the AFC right now.
I agree. I not only AFC, I think they might be the best team in the NFL right now.
Ooh, I can't say that yet.
What?
There's still one undefeated team left, man.
Come on, bro. They just
Cardinals?
just escaped San
it's-
Francisco. But one thing I will admit, because I have them on my notes
I'm
here.
about to say it's a division rival game, so it's gonna go tick for tack.
Wait,
I
can I
get
just
that.
ask something? So my question that I'm thinking now is so with the Chiefs, obviously they're not the same as they've been, and it's kind of like you're on your pedestal for so long, and it's like eventually you have to come down. But are the Eagles just that bad that when the Chiefs played us, they looked like they were just so elite in comparison to us?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Right?
well,
That's how I
and the
feel.
Chiefs are not playing good football. They still gave 35 points to the Eagles.
Yeah,
So that just shows you how
30 points.
bad. Oh, 30. Okay. I know it's definitely 30.
yeah.
It just shows you how bad that.
The
You know,
defenses.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really
The
bad.
thing is that when the Chiefs win, it doesn't matter how many points you give up because you're only worried about the end result when it comes to winning.
exactly. They
But
don't care
now,
about points.
now that you're seeing, them losing 38-20, it stands out more because the offense didn't do what it needs. You're not used to the offense stalling out at 20.
Yep.
You're used to that offense going, 35, 42 points and still winning shootouts.
And
But-
then if you can't even get off the field to let your offense produce, that's just nothing but trouble
So do
anyway.
they give away their defense? Like, what did they not resign people?
Well,
like,
according
when
to
they
Chris, they got a boatload of money that they spent on the defense. So it's just maybe the guys that they
Personnel?
selected to choose.
Yeah.
they just aren't that good.
They might have That's what I'm saying.
Oversight.
Can
It's an
I
oversight.
apply?
It's an oversight in the in the roster, I guess, because it's like if you're known for your offense, that was the focus. It's like, yo, we forgetting about the defense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kyler Murray MVP candidate?
Yeah, he is.
I think so too.
Top three is no particular order: Murray, Herbert, Josh Allen.
No Lamar Jackson? I didn't know you were going to put Herbert in there. I thought
Those
you
are
were
the three
definitely
names
putting.
that I
I
kind of
mean,
thought of.
Chargers are 4-1, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, nearly 1,600 yards. I think he's a league leader.
I get.
I said
I get
Justin
that.
Herbert was a stud. I've
Yeah.
been said I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of like, about Justin Herbert. I think he's
But yeah,
He's a stud. For
Yeah.
Sure. He's just riding away on my bench in fantasy.
he looked. It's just so funny. You've seen those things about him, about how he looks and how when he was like a kid, he wrote that little thing for school and it said, "What do you want to be when I grow up?" And he said, "Quarterback." It said, "Where you going to be a quarterback at?" Los Angeles. He like manifested his future.
speaking to existence.
Right.
You know, what happened to the good word prayer? How come everyone use manifest now? We don't pray anymore? Huh? Or is that too old school? The kids don't go to church, so they manifest
I
everything.
think prayer, obviously, prayer is just number one, but manifest in terms of just mentally, like, you know, you have to have it on the forefront of your mind. You can pray on it, but if it's not on the forefront of your mind, you know what I mean. You have to do the work.
Yeah, that's what prayer is.
No, but that's not. But you pray, yeah, but it's not when you put in the work. You're working towards your goal. You're manifesting
Prayer
your
without
goal.
preparation.
You know, the great Aubrey Graham once said, "I'm the type to say a prayer, then go get what I just prayed for." That was by the great
Right. So
Aubrey
basically,
Graham.
he's saying he's manifesting his goal. So it's just he didn't use the word. We're just using the word. It's the same thing.
It's not though, because I don't go to church and manifest. I go to
No
church
one's
and
talking
pray.
about church and manifesting.
I'm
We're
just,
saying the
I'm just,
action
I just don't
steps,
like the fact
action
that
steps.
people just took out a simple word like prayer and changed it to manifest.
That's
Like
not-
it's like
that's not the
it's like I
same.
prayed for this good job, but now it's I manifest for this good job. It's this.
No,
It's,
I personally wouldn't use them in the same kind of way. I would use they're different things to me.
I don't think so.
To me, they are.
Cause to each his own. I think, that's just me. Like, what happened to the good word prayer? It's the same thing.
Manifest is the action. Prayer is just what is the giving.
But-
You're gonna
but
pray
you
for what
can-
you really want in life, and you're gonna pray to
Yeah,
God.
but you don't.
Get
But
there.
you don't just sit back and wait for a prayer. I could pray to God every day. Like, please let me be a millionaire and just wait.
So you say the prayer, right? Okay, so then what do you call the action that you take to help your prayers come?
So
true?
are you saying that manifest is the verb of prayer?
Manifest is the action towards what you want.
And what's that? It's a verb is an action.
I know that.
All right. So you're saying manifest is the verb of
yeah,
prayer.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, if you're saying it in that
that's what I'm
logic,
saying.
I completely understand.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I think we need to let the rest of the world understand that.
Y'all can chime in, run it back, fam.
Like, yes,
you
manifest is the
thinking
verb of prayer.
Manifesting is the verb of prayer, and I
has to
think, and
be.
no one's saying that. No one's saying manifest over prayer. It's manifesting is a part of prayer. You have to manifest what you want after you pray for it.
I'm just saying no one prays
Manifest is-
anymore. Everyone manifests.
You don't know if people pray or not. Manifest
I don't think people
is
pray.
what people do on earth, which you can control. You're manifesting your destiny. Prayer is something that you got to pray to God and just have faith. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. So like, all right, so I'm supposed to sit and wait, or I should take
I
action?
just said you're supposed to manifest. Oh my God, you're not understanding. You pray for what you want, and then you go out, you manifest your dreams.
So you pray, then go manifest.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to make
You
sure we're
can't-
all on the same
so
page here.
You can't. So if you want a job, you're not gonna go out as you're practicing recording and say, "Yeah, I'm praying right now." You're manifesting your dreams. You're working towards your dream. You're like, you get it. You're not gonna like a prayer.
I get
A prayer is what you say. You pray to God. That's an action.
I just gave a good definition of manifest. Chris, pull up dictionary.com real quick.
Yeah, what does
so we can get
manifest
the
mean?
definition of manifest.
Oh my God. Only here. We're actually
course.
debating like the definition of manifest.
We have to. We've been using stellar SAT words all show. We might as well continue.
Manifest, verb, display or show a quality or feeling by one's acts or appearance. Demonstrate.
Demonstrate. Thank
Similar
you.
to display, show, and exhibit.
Thank
They
you.
don't say nothing about prayer though.
Because
I'm just saying. So in
okay,
2021,
Chris,
are we saying?
Chris, look at the definition of prayer.
Oh my! Y'all got phones too.
Look it up.
You're-
Look at
you're
it, Chris.
just- you're
You're the
just-
DJ.
You're
the
quicker on the ones and
You're the
twos.
producer.
What was his DJ name again? DJ Uplift.
Uplift. Yeah.
Yeah.
A solemn prayer, a solemn request for help or expression of thanks addressed to God or an object of worship.
Okay, so a request, a request of something. You're asking for something.
A
So
religious
it's-
service.
Right. Right. So the manifest is the action, is the verb of something. So that's what they're manifesting. So Justin Herbert, he manifests his dream because he played football in Little League. He played football in, whatever that crap is. He just worked his way up.
Whatever that crap is.
He manifested his dreams. That's all I said. And you're
Wow.
like, no, Bruce. Okay,
all
that's a fine
I'm
opinion.
saying is y'all heathens don't go to church no more. Since
Do you
y'all
go
want
to church?
I catch it online here and there.
Yeah, all right,
Uh-huh.
so don't be talking
COVID, it's
about prayer.
COVID, it's
Don't be
COVID.
talking about prayer
I don't want to.
manifest.
I don't want to be around the old folks
If
getting
you
them in
don't-
trouble, spreading that disease.
If you don't be in
Mhm.
church, Mark Thompson.
I'll catch it online here and there.
Here and there.
Here and there.
When's here and there? When's the last time you was here and there?
The last time I was here and there, shoot, that's a good question.
Okay, so that ends
I
that
still,
topic.
I still pray though.
Me too.
Mm.
My God is an awesome God. He reigns.
Praise from heaven above with wisdom, power, and mercy. Our God is an awesome God. Listen, on this show, we're not afraid to talk about the J.O.D.
What a fellowship.
G.O.D.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. The J.O.D. Who that? Who the J.O.D.? Don't nobody pray no more.
G.O.D.
Oh my- the
I'm sorry, I think I
J.O.D..
just
What a fellowship. What a,
Right,
what a joy divine.
right. You know what I'm saying? She the one who
Yo,
she skimp out on the offering
first of all,
plate. I know she skimp out on the offering plate. She do not give 10%.
First of
You-
all,
you clear-
first of all, y'all know I said I was a zombie. Okay, I'm delusional.
You
just
clearly did not turn to page 525 in your hymns.
Right. She definitely didn't.
Yo, Chris said, what did you say? A testimonial? What did you just
What a
say?
fellowship.
What a joy divine.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yo,
crazy.
Chris.
That's-
Chris
you-
is
I
wild.
literally grew up in the church.
You
My
s-
uncle was a pastor.
She not getting no Jesus on the
Chris,
first
I
Sunday.
really because I'm thinking about J.O.B.
You get that, Chris?
Yeah.
Jesus on the first Sunday. She not getting no Jesus.
Y'all are nuts. Yo, Chris said only here, man. Only here.
The Jesus. I seen that on Twitter. I've been dying ever since. I used to be tearing the Jesus up at church.
Excuse me, God, Lord, the Lord knows I
They'd
love
be
him.
like, take one.
The
When I
Lord
was a young
knows I
boy,
love him.
they'd be like, take
God
one.
bless. God bless.
You clearly wasn't. You clearly didn't go on first Sunday.
Yo, the last time I had communion, I'm not gonna lie. I took the grape juice like a shot and I started laughing. I'm like, yo, this is bad. I
That's how it
really
used to
took the grape
be.
juice and said bang,
You
just
know
took
what's
that joint
really
right to the
messed
head.
up?
My grandma looked at me, I was like, oh shoot.
You know what's messed up? Legit. When I was a kid, I'm always went to Catholic school, but I'm not Catholic. And
Mhm.
I used to, one time I went up and I just went and took the communion and stuff because I was just hungry and I just wanted to go up there and get
I
it.
feel you.
And then I was
You
just like,
just wanted to eat that bread.
I really did. And the sister was like, Carmen, you're not Catholic. Why would you go up there? I'm like, sister, sorry, I didn't know.
Listen. There's been times my grandma
I
ain't
know.
had no snacks. I couldn't wait for communion. I'd be looking around. The ushers like, when y'all about to pass these joints out?
For real.
I was a kid though. I was a
Yeah.
kid. You can't knock me.
I was
fat.
a kid too.
My grandma ain't had no mints no more. I ate them
Yeah.
all. What was I supposed to do?
I'm just glad the black church I went to was only 2 hours because I knew them joints go on for like 4 to 6 hours. I'm just like, yo, I don't know how y'all do this.
See, here's the thing. I just had to break it down for somebody about why the black church is so long. The problem with black church and why it's so long is it depends on what time you go. Now, if you're there for the praise and worship and all the announcements and stay for the word, you're going to be there for a long time. Now, if you get there just in time for the word, you in and out. So you got to pick and choose. Do
No,
you
but-
want to praise and worship or do you want the word?
No, we got
Or
two.
do you want the entire experience?
No, because I went to AME. So like we got 2 services. It was 7 to 9, like 7 to like 9:30. Then we got like the 10 to like almost 1 p.m. Like I always make sure I go to the early one because like after Sunday school, like like me and my grandma, we going right back to that house. We watching NFL Sunday.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, yo,
Oh, yeah.
turn on that CBS.
No, not CBS. I hate CBS. Maybe Fox.
Yeah, no.
What the old folk love
Yeah.
CBS. My bad. Gosh, that's why I can't stay in CBS now. Watch it so much with my old folks.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And don't even get me started about their soap operas. But anywho, my bad. I used to know the whole CBS rundown. The Price is Right. Yeah. What else? Then The Young and the Restless. Victor Newman.
Oh, General Hot. Don't forget about General Hospital.
Nah, General Hospital was ABC.
Oh yeah, dang. Yo.
Yeah.
3 p.m.
Which one's the Bold and the Beautiful?
That's
That's
CBS.
CBS.
Yup.
Okay.
The Guiding Light was also CBS.
I
I
used to
know
watch
the
The Bold
whole
and the Beautiful.
rundown, bruh.
Yeah. Honestly, like when I stayed from school, I just had channel 17 on, and that was it.
Oh, watching Maury
Yeah.
or Ricky Lake
Yeah.
or Jenny or
Or Jerry Springer.
oh yeah, don't forget Jerry Springer. We got 2 minutes till
Yeah.
Jeff calls in from the sports narrative. Jerry Springer was legit.
Jerry.
How did
Jerry,
first off,
Jerry.
daytime television is still exactly the same. But I was confused. Like, when did his bodyguard get a job? Like, I was always remember
Oh,
like,
this was like about like 10 so years ago, the Steve Wilkos show. That was
yeah,
on.
like he was always the bodyguard.
Yeah.
Now he got a job, like putting people in their place. I watched some
That
Steve
was
one
his,
time.
that was
you
his
are a
bodyguard.
dirtbag.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Steve be going in.
Yo, dog, I just love watching Maury because the funniest thing about Maury is just like everybody always. The thing is that everybody always just talking like the men on the show ain't nothing.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just like, but my thing is that this is like the woman's like 4th time on the show with like
trying to find out who the baby daddy
Like,
is.
I don't
like-
even know who the dad is.
I'm like, yo, like, how are you, like, okay, somebody's got to explain to me how many people you were at that time where you can't like pinpoint exactly who the dad is.
Right.
I
Maybe-
can see 2 people, but like 5, like girl.
Mhm. I'm like,
That's wild. She'd be like, my name is LaShonda. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. And Tavon is definitely the son of my baby boy,
they
Bryce.
got the same ears.
Look at him. Look at his ears.
Yeah.
That's his ear.
Then
Yep.
Tavon, like, that ain't my kid. She been around the block. She messed with Bunky and Boo Boo and all them. I only messed with her
Look.
one time. It ain't my kid. But if it is
No,
mine, I'm going to be there for it.
he's like, you know what? You're only with me because I'm a trucker. I make $96,000 a year. She's trying to get some of this piece.
Right,
And then, he's like, when it comes to 14-month-year-old Tristan, Javon, you are not the father. Homeboy do a backflip and
Right.
everything.
She runs in the back so fast. First off, the cameraman needs a raise
Yeah.
because he never misses a spot. He be on her from left to right. Lady be in there running the maze. Like,
Or I feel bad for the ones where it like they raising the kid and they're in there for the
Oh,
test, and then they find out the kid's not theirs, and they're like
That's
all crying.
devastating.
They're like, oh my god.
The boy be just sitting there lying, like, even though if it's not mine, I'm gonna continue and be there and be the man that this young man need me to be.
I'm just
to
like, you've been
ensure
there
that he got a good life.
I'm about to say, you already been there for 4 years, bro.
I mean, if you're raising a kid and you've been with the kid's life over 2, 3 years, 4 years, you might as well just that's your kid.
Debatable.
Russell Wilson.
I mean, he's
Debatable.
married to Sierra, so
All right.
he needs to do that.
Yeah, definitely. We got Jeff calling in. Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
What up,
Hey,
Jeff?
Jeff.
Yeah, hey, Jeff. Oh, yeah, we briefly, well, before you called in, we was briefly discussing daytime television. So, like, we was discussing, Jerry Springer, Maury, the soap
Oh,
operas.
man.
Yeah. So, listen, if you had to pick, like, your favorite midday show, what would you have to say was your favorite?
I mean, look, I'm old school, so there ain't nothing wrong with a little Price is Right.
Oh yeah,
This morning,
Bob Barker.
got your bowl of Lucky Charms there. You're watching the
Mhm.
little mountain man go yodeling up the hill. Like, yeah, man, it goes hard. Yeah, like the Price is Right. Yeah, old school Bob Barker, man. I remember when I was a kid and he still had black hair. And then, you go to school, you start doing all that stuff, and all of a sudden you come back and he's got white hair, and you're like, whoa.
Right.
And the same they had with Drew Carey. Like, I remember Drew Carey, like, he looked like Drew Carey. I came back and I was like, that's skinny Drew Carey. That's weird.
Mhm.
I'm like, this ain't Drew Carey shows Drew
that's good
Carey.
time.
The last time I saw him, I'm like, wait, why is Wayne Brady here? What's going on?
Yes, exactly.
But Jeff, we appreciate you calling in on 98.5. The reason why I wanted to talk to you is because this weekend was crazy, especially in the football scene, but more particularly college football. A lot of action, definitely going down south. But the biggest one had to be Texas A&M upsetting Alabama. So what were your thoughts on that game?
Man, well, I got to say, first of all, that the only time in the history of UT football that they might be happy that they're not the front page story after choking away a 28-7 lead is the fact that the Aggies went ahead and beat A&M, and that's all. The Aggies went beat Alabama, and that's all we're talking about. So, that's like you see that the Red River rivalry there happened earlier.
Oh, yeah,
And then
definitely.
That thing, like that night, man, insane. Like, dude, Aggies go and lose to Arkansas. Like they look just trash, and then. This is the thing. Like, there are those years every great once in a while when Alabama is not exactly hitting on all cylinders, and I think that's what you're seeing. They don't quite always restock every time.
Mhm.
So this is one of those years where, man, it's wide open. And I tell you what, you keep looking east at that Georgia team and that defense that they got.
Oh yeah,
woo,
best defense in the country.
it might finally be time for the Dogs to actually win the whole dang thing, and that would be kind of cool. So but an amazing atmosphere. I had lots of friends that were there at the game. They said it was just insane. That place is so loud, and it actually sways. So I don't know if you guys know this, but at Aggies games, when they start the fourth quarter, everybody gets links arms, and everybody starts swaying back and forth. And it's a concrete stadium, like it's been there forever, and the whole thing sways.
Damn.
Like the press box, you could see moving. It's insane,
Wow.
but it's so cool. Like if you ever have a chance to go to Kyle Field, I highly recommend it. It is one of those football meccas that you got to make that pilgrimage to.
Yeah, I'll definitely put that on the list. I got to visit the Horseshoe first before anything else.
You got it. Yeah, like I said, that's on there for sure. You got to go see a game at LSU at night. That's very important.
Yeah.
Always go to the night game.
Yeah, I also got to make a trip up Happy Valley as well.
Hey.
Yep, Happy Valley's great. You got to get to the Big House, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, if you can make the Cotton Bowl when it's Texas OU weekend, you've got the fair going on around it. Like, that's what makes it so cool, because it's right in the middle of the state fair. All the Okies come down from Oklahoma. Texas jacks up the gas prices because they know that they're coming. Like, the fair is just, everybody's in orange and red, and it's just split right down the middle. Man, it is so cool. The only thing I think that rivals it is the cocktail party, Georgia, Florida.
Ooh,
but
okay.
Man, I think this thing is so much better because it's got the fair. Like, it's got all this stuff. Like, people come for the whole weekend. Like, it's so cool.
Ooh, man. Yeah, once I get my funds in order, I'm definitely going to be trying to, tour around the United States, going to some college football games, because those atmospheres.
And you got to make the Naval Academy is a great place to go see a game. That's one I've been to, and do the double dip and like catch a Baltimore Ravens game when you're there. Like there's lots of good stuff. There's lots of really cool venues to go see.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the Red River game, projected first round pick Spencer Rattler, he was eventually benched for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams led the charge in the comeback against Texas. So do you think at this point Rattler will eventually still declare for the draft? And if so, do you think he's still a first round pick?
I start looking at this draft class of quarterbacks, and obviously this pertains to you guys especially. I mean, you're sitting on 3 picks in the top 10 right now, which is mighty nice. But, man, I start looking at this quarterback class, and I start thinking, this scares me. There's a lot of guys that were supposed to come in real big and bad, and all of them have really struggled. The Penn State kid, Spencer Rattler. I just start going,
Sam Howell from North Carolina also.
Yeah, exactly. The North Carolina boy, he looked terrible in those first couple of games. So it makes me nervous. Now, obviously, we get through the process. Look, this time last year, nobody was talking about Zach Wilson. Nobody was talking about Trey Lance. So, the process has a tendency to grow and change, and these guys, once they get a little actual NFL coaching and all of those things, things are subject to change, of course. But, and especially the way you got the transfer portal now and that type of thing going on in college football, if Rattler's people say, hey, you're not assured, the 1-1, well, or who knows, the 1-1's Houston, and you're like, nah, I'm good. Then maybe you say, all right, I go back to school, I transfer out, I go, play at Alabama or Georgia or Texas or somewhere else, right? Like, you go make that jump. I think it's very fluid. I don't think even his people know yet. Plus, you're getting those the licensing money now. There ain't no reason to rush off. He's already making money, so why not?
Yeah. So I was definitely looking at Rattler, because not only he struggled, he got benched for Caleb Williams, and now it's like he might not even get his job back. So if he does go to the transfer portal, do you think he may stay, down in the South, maybe go to another Big 12 team, or maybe do you think I just had a suggestion? I feel like when I watch Penn State, they have a lot of great athletes, but the one thing that they always miss is that they can never get one of those 5-star or just a decent quarterback up there. Do you think maybe that may be something that Penn State should probably consider?
Now, obviously, Penn State should consider it, but I don't think that would be high on the list, just because, the last time Penn State had a good quarterback, like Kerry Collins. So, it's been a minute. So,
hey, Trace McSorley wasn't bad.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's what I mean. Like that's not the place. We've already seen it before, how down here in this area, especially, with, we saw that with Kyler Murray going from A&M to Oklahoma, and then I forget the kid's name, Trevor. I can't remember his name. He didn't do very well, but he transferred out of Oklahoma down to A&M. That's the thing that I think you could see. And hell, maybe Alabama's sitting there saying, yeah, we could always use another quarterback or something like that. There's so many things that I think a kid like that is definitely, look, the SEC is college football at this point.
Yeah.
And especially when they get OU and Texas. So I would be shocked if he's going to make a jump, unless it's someplace like Ohio State, of course.
Yeah. And we don't have that much room, so we still got Shroud. We still got a bunch of 5-star recruits after that. So
I'll tell you what, though, man, that Penn State defense is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those guys can fly. Like, that absolutely kept you in that game all weekend was that defense.
Mhm.
And that was amazing to see. And it just, I mean, I think eventually it just kind of wore down a little bit. But that, you know, if you can figure out the offensive game, man, that defense can play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So obviously, you know, down in Texas, but to me, one of the funniest quotes that I've seen during this past week, there's nothing worse in the world than a happy Dallas Cowboys fan right now. So,
Boy, ain't that the truth?
yeah. So I got to ask, you know, Dallas is 4-1 right now. You know, they just got done beating up a Giants team that just completely is now decimated with injuries. Barkley's now hurt. Daniel Jones is concussed. What do you make of them right now?
So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Yeah.
And you get a situation like, so first of all, let me bring this back to the Eagles as well, because you guys in that Cowboys game, they ran the run pass option, they ran the spread option once in the whole first half of that game, which made no sense. Like, I don't know what they were doing. They were just having Hurts drop straight back, and that's, as you guys know, not exactly a great idea all the time. This weekend against Carolina, man, ran that option, handing the ball off. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective, and that's what's important. So why they went into that game plan against the Cowboys not doing that? Because that's what the Giants did. They started RPO. They started getting Daniel Jones out in space early on. Now, obviously, it didn't work out when he goes to try to take on a safety, but that's the thing is the Giants were in that game, and had they not lost Barkley, and had they not lost Daniel Jones, and had they not lost Kenny Golladay, they might have won that damn thing because they played them tight for a while.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's what I mean. Cowboys, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. When the whole team gets beat up, you ain't going to win that game. But, I mean, look, the Cowboys, they're doing some things well. They have weaknesses. I think they have a weakness to mobile quarterback. I think they have a big weaknesses in the middle of the field with those linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cornerbacks can be had. That was the other thing in the Giants game. They were throwing it deep consistently. And if Daniel Jones could half-ass throw a deep ball, they score repeatedly because they had guys breaking free. He just couldn't deliver the ball. You get a team that can deliver a deep ball, then they've got weaknesses. But that being said, they're obviously the best team in the NFC East. I don't know what Washington's doing right now. They can't seem to figure it out. Like, they got all these horses, but man, they're all running in different directions. You guys, nice win this weekend. I mean, it's good enough that people are fornicating in the bathroom, so I guess that's good.
You saw that video too, huh?
Whoa.
What video?
Whoa there.
No, there was.
Totally.
Yeah, no, there.
But
Yeah.
hey, but
What
you know, like
video,
I said,
Jeff? What video are you talking about?
Oh, so there was a video that went viral of two people in the bathroom at the stadium doing their thing,
Oh.
and here come the cops.
Oh my
Knock on the door.
god. That cop is a hater.
I know, right?
What?
And everybody chanting them, let them finish.
Yeah, like let them get busy in private.
I mean, hey, look, it's a win. Jalen Hurts played okay. But, you know, it's one of those things where, I mean, obviously the Giants are about to just absolutely fall off a cliff because they got nothing left. So, hey, the Mohawk bet's on because if Washington doesn't figure it out, you might finish second. So, hey, this is good. We're going here, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I was gonna say, yeah, let's
Chris
definitely
got that bet.
bring up that bet. You know, we gotta keep track on that, especially between you two.
Yeah, I know. It's the third of the season. That's why I brought him on. you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
That's what I say. It's looking good so far. Now, here's the thing, and this is something I want to ask you guys
Okay. Sure.
about your thoughts on what you have on this team. The defense is playing pretty well. You're getting your crazy Samoan left tackle back, so that's nice. Got a few injuries, but things are going well. I don't know what they're doing with Miles Sanders. Man,
Neither
give
do
that
they.
man the ball.
They don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Like, feed that man the ball. And Gainwell looks nice too. But here's the thing. Jalen Hurts is a great locker room guy that people want to play for. Obviously, you saw that in the comeback late. right?
Mhm.
He's got that it factor. But for about 3.5 quarters of that game, you don't know where the ball's going. Now, who does that sound like to you? In NFL history, who does that sound like?
I'll let you guys go first.
I know what it is. I just don't want to say it.
Go ahead, take a knee, pray. It's good.
Manifest it.
That's not the same thing. Oh my God, Mark, be quiet. Anyways, go ahead, Chris, say it.
The former tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly right.
My bad.
Exactly right.
Oh no, I got it wrong. Self-proclaimed tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There it is. But that's the thing. It's an outfielder for the Mets. I'm pretty sure. But that's the
You
thing.
don't know who Tim Tebow
That's
is?
what you got. Embrace it.
Oh.
It's what it is. He's a really, really good backup player who's loved in the locker room. He is what he is. You can win with that, dude. Tebow went to the playoffs.
Wait,
One point,
hold
Tebow
on,
had more
hold on,
playoff
Jeff.
wins than Tony Romo.
Are
I'm
you
just saying.
are you comparing Jalen Hurts to Tim Tebow?
Absolutely.
What? Why would you do such a thing?
Because again, Tebow went 9-7, made the playoffs. Won a playoff game.
Okay.
You've got the mobility.
What?
You've got the somewhat erratic arm. Do you remember Tebow? Tebow could run.
No, he
For
couldn't.
real.
He just kind of because of his
Tebow
ethnicity.
run. Tebow could run, bro.
No, he couldn't run.
That dude
He couldn't run,
could
bro.
run.
No, he could not run. Tebow could not run.
Listen,
He just
I
got a little
He
extra
wasn't
praise
Lamar
because of his
Jackson, but
size and
he could
ethnicity. He could not run for nothing.
Yeah, dude, listen. Here's the thing. I'm far from a Tebow fan, but the guy can run.
No, he couldn't. But okay. That's
No,
so.
hang
That's
on.
the wildest thing I've
I
ever
was-
heard. Like this,
I was-
the fact that Jalen Hurts is being compared to Tim Tebow is beyond me. Like that's, I feel like that's nothing but utter disrespect, and like that's not even close to anything. I don't care what Tim Tebow's skill set was. Like Tim Tebow's mechanically throwing was disastrous. He could not throw a football for his
You're
life
absolutely
if
right.
it
For 3.5
depended on
quarters-
it.
For 3.5 quarters, you never knew where that ball was going. Jalen Hurts is a much better passer on that extent. You're right. I agree.
It also comes down to play calling too. Nick Sirianni doesn't have a clue. We have not seen the Eagles come out with the same play style, offensive play style that they had week 1 against Atlanta. Week 1 against Atlanta, a lot of people came out saying Philadelphia looks like a very polished team. Your defense
Yep.
is great. Your offense looks good. Your offense is dynamic. You're getting your tight ends involved. You actually
Yep.
run the ball 30 times. You get your number 1 draft pick wide receiver involved. That has not happened since. We haven't seen a balanced Eagles offense since week 1. I'm not taking anything away from Atlanta whatsoever. But at this point, I blame a lot of the situation, even though the situation for the Philadelphia Eagles isn't terrible, but I put a lot of it on Nick Sirianni because it's like he's continuing to try stuff, which is cool, but you should have a reason to try stuff. You don't just start trying stuff because you want to match up against the team that you're playing. You also want to make teams feel a certain way and stop what you have. So you
Right, when
did
you're
something that
trying-
you were
you're-
good at, and now you go away from it.
Exactly. When you're trying to dictate your style based on the other team, the other team's already winning.
Exactly.
You might as well spot them points. Like, I agree 100%.
Yeah,
And maybe this is why you don't hire a coach with zero experience. I'm just saying.
I agree.
But, we all need to blame, though. It's not Sirianni's fault.
Oh, it's
Ben
Howie.
Simmons' fault.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's Ben Simmons' fault.
Oh, definitely Ben Simmons. Definitely Ben Simmons.
Everything that happens in Philly for the next 18 months is Ben Simmons' fault.
You got it. I like the
good.
sound of that. I like the sound of
Man, what are
that.
you guys going to do with him? You got to trade him. You can't keep him.
Y'all want him down in Dallas?
We'll take him, probably. I mean, anybody can play with Luka.
Uh,
But you trade him for Kyrie. That way Kyrie can get on the court.
we don't
That's
want one headache for another headache. I'm good. And I love Kyrie, but I'm good.
I don't know. That three.
Oh,
I don't know. That pick and
well,
roll
that whole
between
Nets
him.
thing might just blow up altogether, huh?
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and here's the other thing, and this is the last thing I got for you guys, which is ain't nobody happier in the whole world than Urban Meyer
Oh yeah.
that John Gruden showed up.
I said that earlier in the show. Urban Meyer got off clean. John Gruden literally just said, "Hold my beer. I got you, buddy."
Exactly.
Urban Meyer did what? Urban Meyer's a choir boy
You're gonna
now.
get a lap dance? Watch these emails. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure he sent off those emails. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm waiting to see if the NFL puts the Washington football team emails right up there next on that very top shelf, right up next to those Spygate tapes,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll never see them again.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't be shocking. Right up there with Colin Kaepernick.
yes.
Exactly. Put them way up on that shelf at the back. You can't even see.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works.
Yeah, and
Protect the shield, man.
yeah, and always remember this: Antonio Brown was right.
Yeah, that which is beyond me. They had Antonio Brown look like he was a nutcase.
They called me a madman.
That's something, right? Well, dude, we got it down here in Dallas with the Lyle Collins thing. I don't know if you guys know the whole details on that. Here's the short version. So Lyle skips a couple of drug tests.
Mhm.
So they're like, okay, but we're gonna pop you. He said, no. Let's negotiate this down. They go, okay. So he said, we'll take it down from 4 games to 3. They said, okay, cool. They negotiate a little bit more. Let's get it down to 2. Okay, 2 games. They're like, here's your extenuating circumstances. Let's get it down to 2. So they said, okay, we got an agreement, 2 games, everything's cool. All right. Then the Players Association goes and talks to Lyle Collins' people and says, no. If we appeal it, we might be able to get the whole thing tossed. So they said, okay. So now they had an agreement, and then they appeal. So the NFL says, oh, really? Well, how about this time where you tried to bribe the drug test person? Now we're going to take it to 5 games. And basically what ends up happening is now Lyle has filed a lawsuit here in Dallas trying to get an injunction, which ain't going to work. And besides the lawsuit, like the way they wrote it, it's like, a kid wrote it or like somebody in prison wrote it. Like, not real great.
I am 12.
That ain't going to work. It's just a big, huge mess. But again, it's this, it's the inconsistency from the NFL that causes these problems. If you just said, look, here's the rules, here it is, we ain't going to mess with it. Like, you screw up, this is what we're going to do, then they'd be fine. But if you want the power, you got to take the responsibility, just like we talked about with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
You want the power? Cool. That means you got to deal with Deshaun Watson. And they're just going to punt and just wait and basically pray that the Texans make the right choice, which they seemingly are so far. But who knows? Davis Webb goes, or whatever his name is.
Davis Mills
goes down. Then who knows?
Yeah.
And who knows? Seattle needs a quarterback too right now, so maybe they make a trade.
Hey man, they got
they like trading all their picks.
Hey, they got Jets legend Geno Smith. They'd be all right.
Yeah, they'd be fine.
Yeah, listen.
Geno look great.
Yeah, no, listen. As long as Geno don't owe anybody money, I think he'll be fine.
As long as Geno don't get punched in the mouth, yeah, no doubt.
No, you guys are
Oh
hilarious.
god, yeah. All right,
Chris is on a roll.
all right, Jeff. Appreciate calling in, man.
See you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, man. We'll talk.
stuff.
We'll talk to you in a few weeks. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. And once again, you're listening to 98.5 WGY. Yeah, run a best sports show, sports for the culture. If you want to call to join the discussion, drop that call number.
Of course, 215-763-9596.
Chris is like, all right. Okay.
Carm just cracking up over there.
I know.
Thanks for calling, Jeff.
She's enjoying comedy hour today.
Like, y'all are really crazy. I don't know if I'm just like delusional
She
or
might
you
be.
guys
Yeah,
are
you
really
could-
just.
I mean,
that
I'm
funny.
acting no different. Am I acting like?
I just feel like you
different?
guys like everything.
I know I'm funny. I know I do certain things for a
No,
laugh.
Mark is funny. Mark is funny.
Yeah, I do certain things for
I
a
find
laugh.
Mark really funny, and
Yeah.
Chris is just funny. Chris is funny too. I just think the delusionalisms.
Yeah, the whole clapping cheeks thing, that was for LOLs.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like. It's just everyone's looking a little double right now. Like the
Yeah.
tiredness.
She
is
needs
just
sleep.
hitting, yeah.
You work tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oof.
But I'm committed to the running back sports show. So I'm
Alright.
here.
You got your
baby.
second show after this too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, Stephen A.
I'm
She gonna be like, James Harden is the best fullback in the NFL. Watch.
James Harden is the best fullback in these MLB playoffs.
Right.
He's going to lead his team to the Stanley Cup Finals,
Right.
and finally win a World Cup Series MVP. I'm like, wait,
Yo, I
what?
need it like
At the Daytona 500.
no, seriously. Working this kind like this stuff is not for the meek. Like to start out, this is something that's a real big adjustment for real. Like Chris knows we're gonna talk about the Sixers, I guess, soon.
Yeah,
It's coming. It's
yeah,
here.
it's coming.
But
Yes,
all right, let's just start it off. So basically, yesterday was our preseason game against the Nets, the New Jersey, aka Brooklyn Nets, and we were supposed to go to the
Bet you
game.
they wish they were in Jersey now.
right as a running back.
Dealing with this
family.
Kyrie stuff.
But life happened. Mark, was unavailable. Mark Thompson got a schedule. And me,
Schedule.
I was delusional and overslept. So I didn't come. And then Chris went, I guess, with the butt man, Freeman. And
But man, come on,
Billy
that's
Gunn.
what he talks about butts every time he's on the show.
Call him Billy Gunn.
Call it what-
First of all, it's
call
not,
a spade
first of all,
a
it's not
spade.
butt, it's cake.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Cake man. Anyways, so as
You
y'all
talking
might
about
have
me? You talking about me being fresh and dirty?
if y'all didn't see, the Sixers pretty much owned the Nets in that preseason game.
Yeah.
KD played for a little bit. Harden played for a while. Kyrie obviously is not playing because he's not vaccinated. Whatever's going on with him.
Yeah, and now the reports are until he's a full participant, he will not be playing or practicing.
Well, that honestly is the right thing. How can he
Yeah.
not? How can he only play on away games? And everybody else got to be vaccinated for every game. That's
And
not
it's
fair.
like you can't be a part-time NBA player, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And not to mention, it's like I know nobody's right here, so but it's for everybody else's safety as well.
And that's the main reason we're still dealing with this deadly disease at this moment, because of the way people are handling it. Like, all right, I don't care. I'll just say it, whatever. I got vaccinated, but I didn't get vaccinated for me. Like, I got vaccinated for the people around me. Like, in order for me to even spend time with my family again, I had to get vaccinated. It was the worst celebrating holidays last year, where I'm picking up food from my mom's front door. I can't even go in and give my mom a hug.
Yeah.
Like, come on, yo. Like, I didn't do it for me. Like, I did it like to be around the people that I love. And then let alone you're getting paid $30 million a year. I'm cool. Shoot me up twice. Give me the Johnson, Moderna, and the Pfizer. I'll take all three for $30 million.
They
a year.
discontinued the Johnson.
I don't care. Give it for
Here's the
$30 million.
thing.
Give it to me.
Here's the thing: if Andrew Wiggins got to get vaccinated, Kyrie Irving, you better get vaccinated.
It's just he just a dweeb right now. Like, I get his stance. I get it. It's
But he
so
always
personal.
got a stance on something. He always got
But
something.
don't take it for granted, because this basketball is the reason why you are in the situation that you are today. So don't turn your back on the thing that got you to the star status that you have to this day.
Yeah.
I get it. You're doing other things outside of basketball. That's great. Like, you're bringing awareness to all different types of racial issues, injustices. I get it. But I just hate to say it, but just you're being very selfish. And just fall in line. Like, if you want to be able to still have that capacity to donate to multiple charities and do this and do that and have the freedom, bruh, just go back to work. That's it. Just go back to work, because you'll still be able to do that. Now it's like, it's to this point where it's like there's two really good guys in the NBA that are virtually untouchable by every team and are possibly the biggest headache right now, and that's Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. Any team, if you just say that they're being normal, they're playing basketball, they're just normal people, I'm sure the trade market for Ben Simmons would be going through the roof. Kyrie Irving as well. He probably wouldn't even want to be traded or anything like that, but it's definitely been talks. I feel like Kyrie has not been the same since he hit that clutch shot in the NBA Finals. That joint blew his head up.
I mean,
up.
if you really want to think about it, the way our society is, just the way the world is, Kyrie, and I understand this, you're right to get vaccinated or not, but in the kind of society that we are in like the way our economy is, just think about just money. Everything is contingent upon like the biggerness of businesses, the economy, that
The
stuff.
big picture.
Right. So you are an individual, you have individual right. But what is the big picture here? The United States and everybody running it is saying that the vaccination is going to keep people safe and it's going to, help stop this crazy, stupid COVID-19. Okay, so that's what it's going to be, and it's not changing. You're not going to change it because you're Kyrie. Like, no one cares. So either you get with it, or honestly, you got to get lost. Really, like, you don't have that option, that luxury, just to be like, I'm not doing it. Well, then you're not going to play. Period. And I think that's fair. If everyone else has to, you have to too. No one's exempt. You think everyone else really wanted to get it? You think they were like, oh yeah, I want to get it. Like Mark said, he didn't necessarily want to get it, but he just thought of what was the bigger picture. So sorry.
Yeah.
And it's just hurting the Nets. You care so much about, your team, and you're all, Mr. Kyrie team now. Okay, so if you care so much, you being there, not being there is going to hurt your team. You got KD and Harden, but still, you're a part of that.
Might not have Harden for long. We're going to talk about it after this caller.
All right.
Yeah.
98.5 WJ1 running back sports show, sports for the culture.
My theme music, boy.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Mark said we can't play your theme music this week.
No, not today.
What?
Not today because of those awful words that you said about Darius Slay last week.
I'm sorry, Mr. Norris.
We can't do it today.
This ain't a dictatorship.
Oh, really?
It's a democracy.
Yeah,
You still gotta know where your radio station is, right?
we know you've been in here, and we got to talk about it. Before, all right. How about this? We'll close out with the music if you give Darius Slay his props. We'll close out with the music if you give Darius Slay his props.
Okay, you ain't give me a chance to, okay?
Go for it.
All right. Big play Slay came through.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Chris, cue it up for when he leave. Get Prince Ballard going for when he leave.
Okay, big play Slay came through for once, but you gotta admit, Sam Darnold gift wrapped it in at least one of those, okay?
Listen, 3 takeaways, I'll take it. We've been dying for takeaways since Jimmy Johnson. I'll take them.
I'll freely admit the win is exactly what the Eagles need. Okay,
Oh,
no matter
yeah.
how bad the team, they needed that win. Because we're on the Tom Brady revenge. We're on the Tom Brady revenge tour. Okay, he already handled the Patriots.
Mhm.
Come knocking on our door because the Super Bowl and whatnot.
He's scared of Midnight Green now.
He's still
We're
hurt.
next to the hit list.
Yeah, he's scared of Midnight Green. I would not be. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I wouldn't be shocked if we won the game. Uh-oh. Who's that there? Uh-oh. I wouldn't be shocked if we won that game though, because he's petrified of Midnight Green.
Look, you're absolutely right. Big play Slay came through. We were starved for turnovers. Okay, and the Carolina Panthers were exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let's face facts. Nick Sirianni's play calling is still horrendous.
Terrible. Bottom of the barrel, terrible.
Because the Eagles are allergic to the red zone, unless Jalen Hurts takes upon himself to punch it in. Am I right or am I wrong?
No,
Absolutely.
No, you're right.
Don't have a clue what to call in the red zone
So you need to do that more often.
at this point.
And let's give it up for my man Javon Hargrave, who had another monster game. All right.
Gravedigger.
He did. He played excellent. How about
Listen,
Derek
I
Burnett?
have already-
No penalties this week.
No,
That's something we can build on, y'all.
That one with Rager in the end zone drove me crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's we talked about this earlier in the show. That's 5 touchdowns that was called back that Hurts actually threw. So, that could be different outcomes of the game. And for all we know right now, we could possibly be talking about Hurts as a possible MVP candidate.
With these, look, every time he can score a touchdown, we kind of hold our breath in that to see if it's a penalty.
Yes.
That's kind of
That's
like hand
sad.
in hand with this season.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I think I'm gonna be Eagles in fantasy.
So when Vontae just caught that touchdown pass, I'm like, wait for it. There goes the flag.
Yep. You can't even celebrate right away because there's a hope that there's going to be some laundry on the field. Like you can't even celebrate. It's bad.
So anyway, moving on to the Sixers. You see, Ben Chima came back to town with a tail between his legs.
I know that was weird. Like we was talking about this earlier. Like when's the last time you just went to someone's house unannounced? Like I feel like everybody always sends a text like, "Hey, you home? I'm going to stop by."
I do that with my best friend. I'll just show up.
That's
do that.
weird, Carmen.
Why is that weird?
You don't know what she was doing.
Ben Simmons.
I
is
know what
weird.
she's doing.
Okay, he's a weirdo.
He
Okay?
is.
He's a coddled, spoiled jerk. Okay, and surround himself with yes men and seconds that hang on his every word, that kisses, his derriere, and just tell him whatever he wants to hear.
It's sad.
All right, he has taken absolutely no responsibility for what he did. Okay, he threw the Sixers management, he threw the team, especially Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers under the bus.
People who've been riding for him had his back the entire time.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not letting management and Doc Rivers off the hook neither, because they counted them too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because Doc Rivers, he had no intestinal fortitude to call a spade and call Ben out on the carpet for what he did and what he wasn't doing.
Now, question though, is that more blame on Doc Rivers or more blame on Brett Browns? Because technically this was Doc Rivers' first season, so he had to see a full body of work. Does Doc get any leadway whatsoever on that?
No, he does not, because of what he said out of his mouth, and I'm going to call him on it every single time. Oh, well, this is Philadelphia. If you don't think Ben Simmons is a treasure, you don't know basketball.
That's true.
As soon as he let those words leave out of his mouth, he's a special talent. He's a treasure. As soon as he let those words come out of his mouth and everything, he's riding for that. He's riding for that. Okay, Brett Brown was Ben Simmons' guy. Ben Simmons' guy's father. He coached his father, his brother. Whatever. out there with the kangaroos or whatever,
But why
But
can't he
the
say that
minute-
he's a
okay,
talent?
So you kind of expected that from Brett Brown. Brett Brown's a yes man. Okay, let's face facts. But the minute Doc Rivers, an NBA championship winning coach, granted he had like 3 Hall of Famers, like doing work for him. The fact that Doc Rivers said that, I understand it's his first year with the Sixers. We also understand he has cachet. All those years he coached the Celtics.
Why can't he say that though, Mr. Norris? Why can't he say that? I think there's nothing wrong with him saying that, as long as he says, on the other hand, he still needs to shoot. He still needs to do A, B, C, D.
But he didn't.
No, it's because he
Bottom
came
line
at the
is he
fans saying Philly don't know
Okay, so
basketball.
therefore,
I mean-
he's on the hook too.
He's defending his player.
Carm, not today.
So you don't defend.
I'm just saying.
One thing defending your players, there's another thing insulting the fan base. Okay, in Philly we don't play that. When you say, "Oh, well, Ben, if you don't know Ben Simmons is a treasure,"
But
you
if
don't
Ben
know
ended up
basketball,
doing what he was supposed to do, nobody
that
would
was a
care.
slap in the face.
But he
to
didn't.
hardcore
That's
Sixers fans.
that's
I'm
why
just
we're
saying.
here.
Right? How many rings has Ben got?
I'm just saying.
He got more than Harden.
I said how many rings has Ben had?
More than Harden.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
still
same
hurt
with
that we
Harden,
never
right?
traded for Harden. That's all.
Yeah.
We still might get him though,
Listen.
because I was about to say this after, but pay attention to this Kyrie Irving situation, because James Harden did not re-sign with Brooklyn. He said he's going to be a free agent. He's already said it. So pay attention. If Kyrie keep acting weird, hey, KD, you my guy, but I didn't come here for this.
Listen, who needs James Harden when we got Furkan Courtmouth dropping 27?
You right.
Bottom line is Ben's going to ride everything. He's going to have some kind of phantom injury. He got a hangnail if his time month or something. I don't know.
He won't get paid if he does. That's in his contract. He will not get paid a dime.
Well, look, the fact that he and Rich Paul went to the Players Association saying we need to get our money back. We found that's going to be that big. I'm like, really? Rich Paul need to go back to selling jerseys where he came from.
Well, the rumors are that Ben is going rogue right now. The rumors are that everything that's happening is all on Ben. Like, it's apparently Doc talked to Rich Paul early yesterday, and the hopes was that Ben was going to come like later during the week, not yesterday. Like, so apparently everything Ben is doing, he's just running rogue. He's just doing his own thing.
He's just understanding he just dug himself like such a hole. He's like, all right, I kind of messed it up. I'm seeing that. Maybe
We don't know that.
I mean,
Listen.
we don't know that, but what did his actions tell you? He's going against what he said he was gonna do.
His actions are telling you he's the first year of his $33 million contract, and he ain't seen none. He's
Listen.
on the way.
Well,
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
listen, he saw Furkan Courtmouth and Isaiah Joe go off. He was just
Okay,
like,
let's just call a spade a spade. Ben's an idiot. Okay.
That's clear, but I'm just saying.
It's very clear.
Obviously, something's going on with him where he's like, "Yo, let me get over here."
Cannot wait till he's off this team so Carm can stop. She's still going.
I'm not defending him. I'm just speaking on what his state of mind is. Why y'all gotta come at me? Because I'm just speaking my mind on what I
Because
think.
you're
Okay.
like you're literally.
Hey, look, the young lady
I'm a-
got to speak her mind.
She is.
Okay. She has her opinion and everything.
She
we
is.
got her
I'm
opinion.
not
Ben's
defending him.
powerful idiot.
I'm
Oh,
not defending
They
him.
can't
I have
shoot a
not
basketball
defended
in his
him.
life.
I have not defended him. I used to defend him. I'm not defending him now. All I'm saying is he's coming back because he wants his money. He's had a change of mind. Like, oh, let me get over here. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
no, he came back
Okay.
because they realized he can't get any of that money back. He's just
That's
like,
what
yeah.
right. He
Yeah,
wants
he was
his
just
money.
like, wait, what do you mean I can't get that?
He wants his money.
What do you mean I can't get 25% back?
He
His
like-
plan backfired. He's coming back now. Oh, I need my money. Let me come back.
You're like, what you mean? I need my stimmy.
Well, see, I put it to you like this: people are giving Daryl Morey heat for not trading Ben Simmons, and yeah, I'm giving him heat too because there are offers out there he should have taken that are off the table right now. But also by the same token, I give him credit because he's the only one standing up to Ben Simmons, saying, "Look, guess what? I'm hurting the purse strings and everything. You don't play for us, you ain't getting paid. It's that simple."
Listen, Daryl Morley stood up to
And
China.
Ben
He stood up to
doesn't
James
realize
Harden.
You're the trade value pulling a little stunt. Does he honestly think by him coming back, that's maybe his position? No, it doesn't. If anything, that makes the Sixers position even stronger.
Much stronger.
He doesn't see that understand. Okay, if you sit out and don't play, you ain't getting your money.
Yes. And now another thing that's interesting too, because shots have been fired at this point. The Sixers have definitely come out and just told you that now with this whole Ben Simmons drama, Joel Embiid is the leader of this team. Like, this is his squad. Like, so now that Joel has already started talking and Ben is, coming back, maybe trying to redo his image or anything like that. Say Ben comes out and has one of those Ben games where he don't shoot. You think Joel's still going to be quiet, or you think he might be like, hey, look, we need Ben to be aggressive?
Listen,
Because at this point, Ben's already said he wants out. He's thrown you under the bus. He's thrown Doc under the bus. He said he don't like the fans. So it's like, if you're going to come here and still do the same crap you did, he going to call him out or no?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, question.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
tell you something. If Ben comes in, if by some major miracle, I'm talking about if all the rainbows, My Little Ponies, Care Bears, like explode out the sky at one single time and everything.
Mhm.
That kind of miracle. That Ben Simmons suits up for the Sixers again, and he comes out and dogs it. He's going to catch absolute hell.
He might not be able to leave the building.
Everybody.
It's gonna be
They're
bad.
probably gonna start throwing stuff.
No.
They gonna look like them
when
people
you
in
got LeBron
Charlottesville.
James calling you out, LaFraud himself and everything. You need to take a look at yourself like, what am I doing wrong?
Come on, LaFraud. Come on,
LaFraud James.
don't do that.
Don't
do that.
Oh, don't say that.
on.
Don't say
Yeah,
that.
I said it. LaFraud James, I can't win it in Cleveland. I'm gonna go form one. I'm forming one team.
Oh my
He's one of
god.
the teams.
Oh,
He was the second person to do it.
Oh,
Well, not
man.
really, but
I'm not even
All
gonna
right.
start on the king.
What's that here? Cricket.
Oh,
well,
all right.
Yeah, I said LaFraud James.
well.
Anyway.
On that
James
note,
to mom.
Yeah, on that note, and to prevent another LeBron James discussion going on for probably these next 20 minutes, Dad, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you.
Let it play. Let it play.
Let me hear my theme music. Here we go. Yeah. Then play. There we go.
All right, Dad. All right, Dad. Well, I'll talk to you later. And once again, you listen to 98.5 WJMY, Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. You want to call during discussion? Mark, drop that call
Of
number.
course, 215-763-9596.
Oh, dang, another call?
Oh, we going back to back. Is this legit? Is it legit?
Yeah.
What's up?
98.5 WJYN.
Yeah, boy, and don't forget to give a shout out for your mama because her birthday was on Thursday. All right.
I will.
Shouts out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's just go back to the Ben Simmons discussion.
Please,
So,
let's do it. Let's do it.
really, honestly, I got really nothing much to say. If he's here, well, yeah, like I said, like if he's here and he dogs it, I don't think Joel Embiid is going to hold back because he already said what he needed to say. He was like, "Yo, we literally did everything that we can to support Ben Simmons. We got him shooters. We got Al Horford, even though that made him uncomfortable. For him. So if he comes in and he dogs it, because in the end, it's all on him. If Ben Simmons does what he needs to do and everything else falls in line, Joel Embiid is going to give you 30 and 15.
Yep.
Tobias Harris is, going to give you, an even 20,
18 to 24.
18 to 24.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey is going to come off the bench and energize the second unit. You still got your 3-point shooters, Danny Green, Seth Curry, George Niang. I think Niang is going to be, really a real good piece. You got your and I made a few notes for the preseason game last night.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to get Isaiah Joe in the rotation.
Got to, man.
Because this man's been a flamethrower the entire preseason.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And Furkan, my boy dropped 27 points last night.
Well, that's your boy, but where you think Isaiah Joe's minutes are going? You think Shake?
Yeah, Shake.
I mean, it's definitely close because Isaiah Joe can actually handle the ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Shake really needs to initiate the offense because he doesn't. So, I mean, yeah, it could be possible that he takes Shake's minutes. But, I mean, Isaiah Joe, he's also been very scrappy on defense as well.
Yeah, but
Furkan's still not giving you that, bro.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Like I said, maybe it might depend on matchups. Like, we saw Doc do it last year.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so it's like, we need, more 3-point shooting. We need the spacing. Furkan's going to play over Thibault. If we need, Thibault for defensive situations as opposed to, scoring.
Yeah.
To, do, if they want to do, a pick and roll switch off, we're going to make sure that Simmons and Thibault's on that pick and roll.
So let me ask you this, and this is something that I've noticed, and it was just brief, but I was watching some of the preseason game yesterday, and something I noticed is that the offense looked a little bit more fluid. And
because they're spacing.
They're spacing, and everyone
Fluid?
can shoot.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Fluent.
See, my bad. Dang.
Fluid.
All right, Webster.
Yeah. And, that's also my biggest takeaway, Embiid versus the Nets. And
Webster's dictionary.
here's the thing, without Kyrie Irving, it's fair game.
Right.
If the Sixers get the proper amount of spacing, if they play 4 out and Joel Embiid in the post, Joel Embiid is eating all day long.
All day.
There is nobody in Brooklyn that can guard him.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin tried, he failed. Kevin Durant, no chance
No
at all.
chance. No chance.
That's why I like, us matching up against the Nets, because I understand you got 2 generational scorers in Kevin Durant and James Harden give you 30, 40 points at any given time.
Yeah.
But just from a matchup wise, in terms of getting people in foul trouble or just dominating in the post. There's nobody on Brooklyn that be able to handle Joel.
Nobody. And then when you play Brooklyn, you gotta hope that Joel never gets in foul trouble, because if Joel's off the court, body, and when you play Brooklyn, you gotta hope that Joel never gets in foul trouble, because if Joel's off the court, my God, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
My God. The crazy, I seen him do a Giannis move. Like every year, Joel adds something to his game, and it's noticeable. If Joel's doing Giannis moves now, oh God, clear the lane.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like that top of the key, did the pump fake, and then like did the jam. I'm like,
well, also the face up on Blake Griffin.
yeah.
Typically that's a fade. That's a fade. Or Joel might try to like skyhook.
Yeah.
No, he jabbed. Oh, Blake Griffin ain't bite. His Blake Griffin's high foot was being showed.
Yeah.
Blew right by him and banged down the middle. Like Joel wasn't doing that.
Listen. And I think this is probably the best thing for the league, seeing Giannis stay at one place and bring home the championship with what he got. I think that lit something in the NBA.
Gift and a curse if you're a Sixers fan.
Yeah. So like I think NBA was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna stay in Philly. Whoever wants to ride with me, come on. We bringing this championship home.
And I like it for Joel. I just don't like it for Dame.
Yeah.
It's great. This is a great place to be. We got so another thing.
And damn sure ain't great for Bradley Beal.
No, it's
Oh,
horrible
yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
It's horrible. He just took over Rose Bar now that John Wall's gone. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. Now let me ask y'all this. Let's say in a perfect world, Ben Simmons comes out and he literally apologizes. He, apologizes, saying that, maybe he's dealing with some things mentally. He's actually worked on this game. He's ready to commit. He apologizes for, letting the fan base down, his teammates, et cetera, et cetera. Also, taking accountability for his actions and everything like that. And I want to be in Philadelphia and help bring a championship to this city. How would you guys feel? Would you guys accept him with open arms? Would you still be a little skeptical? Like, how would you truly feel?
I'll be skeptical, but I need to see a public apology to Ben Simmons. To Joel Embiid.
To Joel?
Yeah.
Got you. Because, the things that Joel said were true. All this time, like, okay, I get, like, yeah, Joel, he needs shooters as well, but Joel's a big man. You have to surround big men with shooters. Point guards, that's a little different.
No, but
point guards are able to create and facilitate the offense and get their
like,
own.
To me, there's nobody that Joel Embiid has played throughout his entire 5 years that he's had an issue with. He even with the lack of spacing, like the first year he was playing with Nerlens Noel. Really, he didn't voice his concerns about having to share the same court with him and Jahlil Okafor.
No,
he just took it for what it is.
And not only did he take it for what it was, he took their positions.
Yeah,
and they're no longer a part of this team.
Yeah,
Joel's work ethic is it's unmatched. I love it. I literally love it. He brings, like I said, a different element to his game every year. I just wish Ben kind of adopted some of that.
I think it's recently it's his work ethic. To me, it's his desire to be great.
Yes.
It's like every single year when he falls up short, he's like, I just need to get a little bit better.
And he's blunt open about it. He's like, yeah, it's cool. We ain't win nothing though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I'm like Philly fans, like, believe it or not, like, okay, I don't think we're tough. We just have expectations. If you're not fulfilling those expectations, you're gonna hear it. We're a vocal, critical fan base at the end of the day. That's fine. We're hard earners. We pay our money to go see you guys, and we're not going to accept anything that's not with effort. So if Ben Simmons goes out there, this is all he literally has to do to win back the fan base. Just have effort. Just effort. Just play effort. If you're trying,
to just humble himself. I think that's a big thing too. You kind of have to just
That
bring
too.
yourself down, like a little. Just bring yourself down, because not saying obviously you don't have confidence in yourself, but you need to just
He needs
bring
that
that
too, though.
attitude down like a couple notches, because it's offsetting, and you don't really have no right. No one has a right, but you really don't have any right to have any kind of attitude because you haven't done anything.
Nothing.
And you haven't really proven that you've been improving your game. You just kind of stayed the same, and you just kind of been playing. I mean, yeah. So he needs to humble himself. He needs to show action behind the words. If he's gonna say these words about an apology to Joel, to the team, to the city, actions need to be behind it. And if you don't have, that's with anything. If you can talk all this talk, I'm sorry, but if your actions are still out there when you're not shooting and you're still out there doing the same crap, Philly's gonna be livid. But if he gets out there and he shoots the ball and he actually shows he cares, I
It's
think
not
Philly,
even shooting. It's just effort. Like I
Well,
don't
yeah,
care.
but no, but I
he
think
can
a big-
miss. He can miss.
That's what I'm saying. Shooting the ball,
Yeah.
making attempts.
So what you're
making-
saying
you're
is,
trying.
so what you're saying is, instead of praying for it, he needs to manifest it.
Yeah, there
Exactly.
you go. Yeah, because
Yes.
prayer sure don't work. He can throw up a prayer from half court. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, Ben just needs to be about the action, walk the walk instead of talking. Like here's it, but I do think the words need to be said. Words need to be said, and the actions need to be taken.
Yeah.
And then Philly fans, here's the thing: he's really kind of like dug himself a hole with the fan base, with the city, because
It's
people
not
were
just the fan
like,
base now. It's the whole league.
Yeah, he's
It's
really
not even
dug
the
a
whole
hole
league,
for
it's
himself.
the whole world.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone is kind of like sour on
after
him.
that Atlanta Hawks series. Everybody's been going after him. Like the
Mhm.
entire city of Philadelphia. Anthony Mackie at the ESPY Awards.
Mhm. I literally said this about a year ago. This time, the NBA season starts next week. I said we need to get off this guy before the rest of the world finds out what we've been dealing with here in Philadelphia.
And the rest of the world.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Now they know.
You can't. Yeah, Eagle like LeBron James, play like Michael Carter Williams.
Yo, listen. I mean, I don't know. It's just we'll see. I don't know. It's like, okay, cool. Say he comes back. You know, we were the number 1 seed, et cetera, et cetera. He plays, and what are we going to get in the playoffs? What are we going to get? Are we just going to continue to be second round?
Yeah.
Like, what are we really going to get? It's just the goal is to win an NBA championship.
Absolutely.
We've got arguably the most dominant big man in the league since Shaq, who's way more skilled and versatile than Shaq ever could be. And there's a chance that like it could possibly go to waste. And the crazy thing about it is Joel, he just looks different. He looks different. He looks locked in. He really look like it's like last year was like, okay, it's like, you know, like when Goku first turned Super Saiyan, it was tough. You know, it took everything out of him to turn Super Saiyan. Then after a while, he just snapping his fingers, turning Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
I feel like Joel Embiid got that Goku confidence. Like when Trunks came down from the future, let him know that Frieza was back, or he just took care of Frieza and let him know about the androids and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Goku just turned Super Saiyan like that. Trunks giving him everything with the sword.
Thank
He's
you,
just
Mark,
blocking everything with his finger.
for the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's the
analogy.
confidence Embiid got right now. He honed
Metaphor.
his skills, and now he's trying to ascend to the next level.
Yeah. But you know what is the next level?
Hmm.
Is John Gruden firing.
Oh,
Oh no, we haven't done Karma's Corner. I need my time because I got some stuff we got to talk about. We got 10 minutes left.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to do it today.
Chris, please cue up my music.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. I didn't know you wanted to do it.
All right.
We don't have to do it. We can talk about John Gruden. Go
No,
ahead.
no.
Chris has a little about it.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
no.
We can talk about John Gruden. Go ahead, Chris.
Let's
Talk about
I mean-
John Gruden. What do you want to talk about? His emails, how he was
Yeah.
using homophobic slurs. Go ahead.
All right. I'm sorry. We're trying to do it next. We're trying to do another show later this week. So
No, go talk John Gruden. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah. John Gruden was dismissed. Well, brought in his resignation letter yesterday to the Raiders organization. He's now officially relieved of his duties. I believe one of the assistant coaches has now taken over the team. From some emails back in 2011, originally it started off with racist remarks towards the VP of football, DeMaurice Smith, and then it dived into homophobic comments about Michael Sam, topless photos of the Washington football team cheerleaders, and a bunch of other issues.
He talked about Obama.
Yeah,
Talked about Michael Sam. He talked about Joe Biden. He talked about Caitlyn Jenner.
yeah.
Whew, he was going in.
He slandered the concussion protocols as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot, but
Like, are you shocked?
no, I'm not
Oh,
shocked.
yeah.
But
I've ran into that guy at the bar before, and he talked about all that stuff.
yeah, no.
After a few beers.
Yeah, no. My issue, listen, my issues isn't with John Gruden because John Gruden hasn't done anything that is out of the customaries of like people like him in the NFL.
Right.
We already know. We know. Well, now we can confirm because the facts are there about how confident people are sending those emails of like talking about people throughout the league and we know what those conversations are about.
Right.
So my issue isn't with that, because to me, the NFL is morally bankrupt because you've had your issues. You don't care about domestic violence, because if you did, you wouldn't allow most of the players with with the issues as well. But my issue is with people looking to defend him. I'm talking guys like Mike Tirico and Tony Dungy. Every single time we've seen these issues brought out, Tony Dungy's always been the first one to defend. Tony Dungy, great guy, great coach, but I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood for defending people. To me, it's like we talked about this like a few months ago with Rachel Nichols and the Maria Taylor situation. I am tired of Black people having to take the moral high ground because we feel like we need to because of God and forgiveness. No, stop feeling you have to apologize because it's the morally right thing to do. And honestly, that's just my issue, because now every single time you see these issues where it's like, okay, well, Tony Dungy says, it's okay, so why can't you all forget? And I'm like, no, like I don't care what Tony Dungy said. Tony Dungy doesn't speak for me. So
I mean, and he also wouldn't have his first Super Bowl without Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
That was Tony Dungy's team.
Yeah.
And watching Keyshawn Johnson talk about how, being coached by him and felt like he was being talked to by a used salesman, people feel that.
Yeah.
People absolutely feel that. And more things have been coming out about John Gruden since then.
Yeah. So to me, it's the comments to me were on brand for a guy like John Gruden, especially when they come out. But for me, I'm just tired of Black people coming to their aid, and then people try to use them as shields in regards to defending and justifying, racial and homophobic, words being thrown.
So who's the coach now?
They're talking about possibly bringing in Eric Bieniemy, and he's very deserving of a job. And honestly, at this point, might as well.
Yeah.
It'll save Las Vegas face, because it's been disgusting since he got rid of Khalil Mack. Then they got rid of that. I'm still shocked they got rid of Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
then,
it's been a disaster.
And then remember, they got rid of their Black punter Marquette King because of differences, and now it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah,
when you kind of piece it all together.
Right.
But in the end, Black people stop being a crutch of forgiveness, especially for people who think very little of you, who don't even look at you as humans.
That's crazy.
I agree.
That's definitely crazy that came out like that.
Yeah, that's
wild.
that's all I wanted to. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah,
No, that's solid. That's solid. I mean, it's definitely something that needs to be talked about, because I mean, he's saying things that just aren't right. Like it's been a running joke that Dave Chappelle's show is about to get canceled because of his
transgender.
Yeah, but if you actually watch
comments.
it's actually very genius the way he uses it, and he's actually talking about how transgender people sometimes don't even accept their own. So I wouldn't come on, let that
But
go.
everybody is quick to be like, you're being offensive or whatever, instead of really looking into the context of what they're saying. Just like with the Sage Steele thing that happened. Like some of the stuff that she said in her interview with Jay Cutler. That thing she said about Obama, that was left field. That was inappropriate. How she was like, Obama's black dad was never around. Like, okay, girl, you didn't have to say it like that. You're black.
Mm-hmm.
Crimes Corner, we can just pick it up next
Sure.
week. It's fine, because it's gonna be longer than 3 minutes.
Okay.
It's like a 10-minute Crime Corner.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the Sage.
I mean, she even took Jay Cutler's compliment. She was like, "You're basically just like Candace Owens." She took that as a compliment.
Yeah, and even he said it. He was like, "You're like a Candace Owens, ESPN's Candace Owens." That's what he said. And I watched some of the interview with Sage Steele. She just, to me, seems like she has a personality where she's just kind of like dry, and she's kind of like, she doesn't have like the personable personality. She's kind of very professional.
I ain't gonna lie. The first time in that interview was the first time I seen her personality.
That's it. But on TV and just in general, I feel like she comes off like she doesn't really have. I can just tell she kind of has a personality where she's probably misunderstood. Not making excuses for her, because she was wrong for what she said about the Obama thing. But what she said about the outfits and stuff, I see what she's saying. She said it kind of harshly, but she's just saying, as a woman in this field, of course, if you're a man, no matter what I'm wearing, there's no excuse for you to try to touch me or harass me or anything, no matter what I'm wearing. That's a given. But she's saying that when you have a job, you want a job, a professional job, you need to dress the part. You need to look the part. Be professional. And I agree with that 1,000%. As a woman, I'm not saying you can't be sexy or you can't, have sex appeal. But if you're going in for a professional TV job,
Dress the part.
You need to look the part. You can't come in your. I would never wear what I wear to the club out to an interview or to a job. So it's the same thing. So I don't think she was wrong for that. People want to jump on her. She's just saying what it is. That stuff she said about Obama, that was definitely out of pocket. She was wrong for that.
Yeah.
But the rest
What
of
she
it,
say about Obama?
she just all she did was make a comment about how she doesn't understand how Obama checked off that he's black on the census because he was raised by his white mother and grandmother, and his black daddy was nowhere to be found. That's what she
Well,
said. Like,
whatever your daddy is, that's what you is.
right. So and
So
her
I don't
her
even know
dad
what
is
she's talking
black.
about.
She's biracial too. Her dad is black. I think her mom's white.
And
So
and guess what? She black.
but
Actually, no. Let's keep it a bean.
But either way, she has a right to her opinion. It's just the way she said it and how she rapped it was just, you're gonna say that like that, like you're a black woman, you're gonna like down your people and black men like that. You know what I mean? It was just like kind of, it just was offsetting.
Yeah. Honestly, like she rubbed me the wrong way ever since she let one of those UFC fighters let her touch her hair live. So
Yeah, that's weird. You don't. Yeah.
yeah. But
Oh, yeah. So just to say, sidebar, sorry.
okay.
So make sure you're checking out the WNBA finals, which are continuing on ESPN2, ESPN. Game 2 is tomorrow. I think it's at 8 or 9. I think it's 8. Mercury against the Sky. Sky are up 1-0. The Sky had a dominating performance in the second half against the Mercury in the finals.
Yeah.
The Mercury, kind of kept up with them for the most part, but then when the second half came, they just kind of just let loose.
Mhm.
They have a lot of great weapons. Kalia Copper, who is a Philly native, plays for the Sky. She went off game 1, and she's been doing really well all playoffs. So watch out for her. Vandersloot, Quigley, of course, Candace Parker. And their big their center, I forget her name, but either way, check out the WNBA finals, which are on Wednesday, 8:00. Should be good stuff.
Absolutely. And this has been Chris Thomas.
Mark Thompson.
It's your girl Carm.
And this has been the Running Back Sports Show every Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern on 98.5 WJYN and on UptownRadioPhilly.org. Until next time.
Peace.
Later.